Oh, hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another Rebel News Election Night live stream. I'm your host for these sorts of things, Sheila Gunn Reid, and I'm joined by my co-host, my real-life best friend from Regina, Saskatchewan, Lise Merle. No one I'd rather do these things with. Lise, how's it going?
Well, Sheila Gunn Reid, how lucky are we to do another election night coverage live stream event here on Rebel News, and this time for Yukon.
For the
We
Yukon,
oh
and if the polls, and take it for what you will, but even the NDP pollsters are saying this is going to be an absolute blowout for the Yukon party, which is their conservative party, akin to the Saskatchewan party.
mhm.
Um, it looks like the Liberals couldn't even muster a full slate of candidates.
In addition to that, all of their outgoing, what is MLAs
Yes.
are retiring. So the entire, like all of the boomer liberals aren't coming back, and so that leaves the door wide open for the conservatives to make a little place. So
Oh,
be
well,
interesting to see if they can pull it off.
it looks like a lot of them don't want to sit in opposition. So we'll give the lay of the land. Polls close at 8 o'clock my time, which is 9 o'clock Saskatchewan time. We're suffering with the time change, so we don't know what
Oh,
time it. I don't know what time it is in Saskatchewan anymore. We used to be on the same time. In the new country, we won't be doing this sorts of stuff.
we're going to always be on the same lockstep on time. Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense and it just confuses the cat. So I don't like it.
Mhm.
But let's give the lay of the land. So the Yukon Party leader is Curry Dixon from Copper Belt North. He's been the leader since, I think, well, there was an interim leader after one of my favorite premiers in all of the country, Daryl Pezlowski, stepped down in 2016. Yukon Party premier and one heck of a Harper guy. Then for the Liberals, Mike Pemberton is their leader. He's got
Mhm.
no seat in the legislature. He has been the premier since June without a seat,
Yeah.
which seems sleazy because it is
And
now November.
they're only running 18 candidates out of a possible 21 ridings,
Right.
and they're polling at 11%.
Good, they deserve it. And
Mm.
then they've got the NDP leader, Kate White. She is, I hope I'm pronouncing this properly, Takini Copper King. Um, there's 21 ridings, as you rightly point out, so you need 11 for majority. They've actually picked up 2 seats through like riding redrawing and then adding ridings in since the last election, where the Liberals were only elected to 8 of 19 seats at the time, but they formed a coalition with the NDP. And I think these guys are going to be punished the same way the NDP were punished federally for propping up the Liberals. So this is Kate
Yes.
White. Look, I'm a tattooed lady myself, but if I were running for office, you sure wouldn't see them prominently like that.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah. And when was the last time a supply confidence agreement with the Liberals not beneficial for the NDP? Oh, that's right. Oh,
yeah.
that's right. In our last election. So it looks like the NDP are gonna
Yeah.
suffer this time for
Yeah.
their decisions.
And I think it's quite something that the Liberals can't even, like, they're only running 18 candidates. So they didn't even get up to the 19 candidates that they would need for the previous number of ridings, which is
Mhm.
quite something. Also on the ballot this time around is a referendum on, and it's non-binding, so they don't necessarily have to do this, but they're asking the people anyway about moving to a ranked ballot system.
Mhm.
So you put your first choice, then your second choice, which would benefit, I think, the Liberals and the NDP instead of
Mm.
allow them to be rightfully punished for what they've done to the Yukon for the last little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're right to point out that they are, like, none of the incumbent cabinet ministers are running. The only incumbent Liberal, and that includes the premier who currently doesn't have a seat, but he's been holding on since June because he knew that they were headed for defeat, is Jeremy Harper. He's the Speaker of the House, so he didn't actually hold a cabinet position. He's about as neutral as I guess you could be in a parliamentary system. If people want to get involved in the show, You can send us a super chat on YouTube. That is their paid chat system over there. If you're watching the recorded version of the stream later on, maybe tomorrow, you're trying to catch up with what we thought our hot takes and our cold takes, and as we do our best to be informed about the Yukon, you can leave a paid comment. It's called a super thanks. If you're watching us over on Rumble, their paid chat is called a Rumble rant. If it's over the $5 US cutoff, it's mandatory that we read it on air. If it's under that, we'll do our best to get to it. And friends, don't let that be the bar for entry. Why? Because this is an election live stream, and we're going to do a heck of a lot of killing time as we refresh the Elections Yukon page over and over and over. So please help us out. Please get involved. Yes. We also have a special guest joining us in about 8 minutes. Well, I'll ask him nicely if he can come on and talk to us for about a half an hour. You know him as Yukon Strong on social media, but his name is DJ Sumanik. I think I'm saying that right. Mm-hmm. And he is a firearms rights advocate and wilderness guide in the Yukon, and he will give us the bird's eye view from inside the Yukon, because who knows the Yukon better than a Yukoner, not just some couple of prairie gals. So he'll be on the show later. You know him. He's a proud supporter of our firearms rights, which has been a very big topic.
Huge.
In the Yukon, because subsistence hunting is a thing up there. Groceries are hella expensive, to use the language of the youth. And so when you have the Liberals in Ottawa, and they're, I was going to say cousins, but it's more like siblings in the Yukon legislature, propping up this gun grab, which will not only take people's lawfully acquired property away from them, but also their ability to feed themselves in a time of intense food inflation. I think that really stung the Liberals in this election.
Yeah. Yep. There are also some of the other issues that are on the table tonight for people to decide on are infrastructure, including connecting Yukon to the North American power grid. I didn't know that they weren't on the North American power grid before.
How are you not on the North American power grid? They're just doing their own thing up there?
I guess. Fiscal prudence. Yeah, education. So the NDP is pushing healthcare and education funding, as they always do. Yeah, but housing and affordability, rent caps have been on the table in this election, being tossed around, and other things such as hospital expansions, clinician recruitment, and other healthcare related issues. So it sounds like a lot of the issues that the rest of Canada is having, Yukon is also suffering with right now. Yeah. We'll take a tour of some homes.
Yes.
in the Yukon, and we're going to give Canadians a taste of what it's like to live there. But from what I've seen so far, it is a breathtaking. It is a staggering location. So I can't wait to learn.
Let's put it on the van life tour. Should we put it on? Let's put it on the van life tour for next year.
Do let me tell you a story real fast. Just quick sidebar. Just this afternoon, I had a delightful conversation with a woman, with a new friend, we'll say.
Yeah, a friend you hadn't met yet.
Yeah. It turns out we have a lot in common, because she is an avid solo van lifer and tootled up to the Yukon this summer and said it was spectacular. So she said not only is it planned beautifully, she said there are entire campgrounds that are fenced off from the bears. So if you're like, if you don't want to go right into nature and the bears that live there, they have fenced off campgrounds. Everything is like beautifully communicated. They are so welcoming of people from Alberta and Saskatchewan. And she said the way that the way that their tourism industry works up there, you don't need to make plans. You just go there and start wandering, and that's what they want you to do. So
that's sort of what we do.
It was a pretty incredible conversation to have tonight, but she said that Whitehorse pleasantly surprised her. She was delighted. She was sort of hesitant about Whitehorse because, you know, we've lots of times the stories we hear might be, you know, not happy stories, you know, coming out of these far reaches. But she said it was the loveliest experience with the loveliest people, and she highly encourages everyone to check it out. So there you go. Got a 5-star recommend from a Sasky.
I think we should go.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should. I think they're just like far northern prairie people. And I think DJ will confirm that for us.
Yeah. I think they're cousins. They're cousins. Yeah.
Now, as it turns out, and we'll go through it maybe later as we need to kill some time because DJ is just jumping on.
Yeah.
Every major poll, including ones done by the NDP, indicate that the Yukon Party is going to sweep. And that couldn't come at a better, more difficult time for the federal Liberals because look at this. Because like they could win up to, what is that, 17 seats? 17 of 21. They could win. And the Liberals are moving from the governing party down to the third fringe party.
This would be a perfect case scenario for the federal government in the next election, like this right here. Like copy paste these.
They're losing all their provincial allies except for Doug Ford and Susan Holt.
Mm-hmm. They sure are, and deservedly so, because they're bad. They're full of bad ideas that shouldn't be unleashed upon an unsuspecting public.
The day before they have to announce the budget, the Liberals become further isolated in Confederation. Couldn't happen to a nicer bunch.
Oh, couldn't happen to a more deserving bunch.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, conservatives who voted conservative in this last election are not going to vote for anybody else. Yeah. But lots and lots of Liberals who voted for this Mark Carney circus are going to rethink that choice. So,
yeah, I think it's early enough for them to have buyer's remorse. We have our guest, I see, just sitting in the waiting room. Maybe we can bring him in. You know him as DJ, or no, you know him as Yukon Strong if you follow him on social media. He's DJ Sumanik. DJ, thanks for coming on the show. I'm so glad you agreed to do this. When we talked about having a Yukon election live stream, they're like, who should we get to come on the show to talk about it? I'm almost like, what do you mean?
We know a guy.
Yeah, we know a guy. He's got Yukon in his name. He'll tell us everything we need to know. So I'm glad you agreed to come on the show. Why don't you, for people who, I don't know how they don't know, but for people who are, maybe you're new to them, give us the Coles Notes version of who and what you are.
Well, I'm a born and raised Yukoner. Been on the forefront of, I guess, fighting for firearm rights in Canada for quite some time now. And that's kind of what started me getting me more politically involved, because as most gun owners know across Canada, once Trudeau got in, he started harassing us, bigoting us, looking to infringe our rights however he possibly could, and use us as a scapegoat to try and stoke fear and help him win elections. And since then, I've realized that it's not just firearm rights that are at stake in Canada anymore. It's basically all of our rights and the future of Canadians as a people, in my opinion, at this point. And I'm been starting to dabble my feet in the water with Albertan independence movement. And my family runs an outfitting area in northern BC. I'm an avid hunter, fisher, firearms activist, and I've had enough of the Liberals too.
So if we leave, should Yukon come with us, or would you just relocate to northern Alberta?
Well, I won't be chased out of my home by communists, is where I'm at. And
such a good answer.
In the early 2000s, there actually was a very strong independence movement in the Yukon. There was very real talk about it in the communities and stuff. The Yukon has changed wildly since then.
Sure.
But I think for now, the focus should be on Alberta, and you guys got to do your thing first. And I'm hoping next summer to come down and try and help out with that a little bit, and help out the Alberta Prosperity Project, and talk to people on the streets and help them realize what an incredible opportunity it is for you guys. And the Yukon separating someday, that's a we gotta start with the basics. We gotta start with Alberta before we even go down that road. And I certainly would be in favor of it, but it's not just my decision, it's my entire province's decision. So
Yeah, well, I suppose it's incumbent upon Albertans to show everybody else what can be done. I want to ask you, and we'll talk about firearms rights in a second, but what are the issues? Like, what are the real issues? Like, because you could drill down and see what the CBC says are the issues for Yukoners, but what are the real issues facing Yukoners right now?
well, I would say the number one problems that you're going to be able to talk to anyone in the Yukon about, regardless of affiliation, is going to be housing, cost of living, and healthcare. So right now, about 25% of the Yukon does not have a healthcare provider. Like, that's kind of an astonishing number. And I personally know people that have been living in their car off and on now for 2 years. There's been I would say a slight bit of relief in the housing front, just because of the housing bubble starting to pop a bit. But realistically, the bottom line is the Yukon needs to build, I think it's about 450 homes a year to meet the current population growth, and we're not even anywhere near that. Since 2015, when the Liberals got in, this is an astonishing figure. I just looked it up. The government employment rate was 7,900 government employees in 2015. As of now, it's 11,131. So that is a 40% increase in the size of government in the Yukon since the Liberals have taken over.
I just want to put this into an incredible bit of context here. There are about 45,000 people in all of the Yukon. That means 1 in 4 people work for the government. That is absolutely unsustainable.
No, it's actually 47.4% as of the latest census works for the government now. It's crazy.
And so what your Liberal government would do then is trot its job stats out and be like, look how great we're doing with our employment numbers. Meanwhile, all of their employment numbers are because of government jobs that have been created.
Well, yeah, that's sort of what the federal Liberal playbook has been too.
Sure, the NDP did it here too.
Yep.
But I can tell you from my experience growing up here, being raised here, what happens a lot of times with government employment is that in order to entice people to come live up in the cold and the dark up here, they really have to jack the salaries to get people to commit to a multi-year deal to come up here. And then what happens is it's often married government couples I find, from Ontario or BC, and they're looking to build equity quickly, right? So they can get a transfer to a higher paying job because the union rules, they'll get priority on the job, and then they'll get into government and dump money into their home, and then they'll be like, I don't want to live here anymore, and then they'll leave. But what happens is when they leave, the job position stays open and somebody has to come in and fill it. So there's this revolving door of people coming and going, and the government bureaucracy just keeps growing and growing and growing. And to be fair, the Yukon, I think it does, because it's such a sparsely populated region in an extreme climate. You're gonna have that core fundamental size of government just to maintain things. You have to have a certain amount of people to clear the roads, and so we're gonna have a higher government population, but really over the last decade it's gotten out of hand. There's every morning at 8:30 when all the workers go to work, there's this massive traffic jam that goes downtown. Like you're like sitting there for like 15 minutes just to go a couple of blocks. And every day at 4:30, the same way, everybody's leaving. So it's not good. And like I work in the private sector. I have my own business. My primary clients are law firms, medical clinics, accounting firms. Like, I'm trying to not be a part of the socialism and or the government, but who pays my clients? It's mostly government workers who are paying they're doing lawyer stuff to purchase their home or filing complaints against wrongful termination or whatever it may be. So it's like, am I a government employee too? I don't know. Right? Like, let's be real.
Wow.
The money goes to them, then it goes to them, then it goes to me. I can't even escape it anymore. So it's not a sustainable situation. And one of the biggest the biggest problems here. So my uncle, he worked with the oil and gas development sector for many years at the territorial government. And like the Yukon has energy reserves. We have massive mining reserves. We have lumber reserves. And that's one of the things actually that the Yukon Party is talking about fixing here is access to lumber to help with the home construction and stuff. And, basically once the Liberals got in, my Uncle Ronnie, he went to all the trade shows. He sold parcels of lands ready to go, oil and gas, natural gas. It was all set up. Basically all the government had to do was rubber stamp it, and they wouldn't. And they literally had him and his team, sitting at Energy Mines and Resources for about 7 years, twiddling their thumbs. They wouldn't fire him because of the union rules, but they wouldn't approve any of the projects that they fought hard to get for the Yukon. And of course, they just waited him out until they said, well, we don't want to sit around in the office anymore. And since then, it's been basically dead. And the Yukon is very much like Alberta. We are resource dependent for jobs, and tourism is probably our number two. And without those two things, all that happens is government money gets pumped in. And the federal Liberals, they look at the Yukon, like Sheila said, we're only 40-something thousand people.
Yep.
They can sort of buy the writing just through the hiring process, right? It's cheaper to do that here than it is to say run a full-blown election in like downtown Toronto, probably, so we're being taken advantage of.
Yeah. You guys are the population of a small prairie city, like a Medicine Hat. And just tell me again those government employee numbers, because I pulled up some numbers of my own at the exact same time, just to put it in context, because I'm having trouble getting my head around it.
I believe in 2015, the stat that I found was 7,900. It was 7,900 and change. And as of now, it's 11,000. Well, as of 2024, it's 11,131. So that is literally a 40% increase in size of government in 10 years. Like,
10 years.
I was like, how many people work for the city of Fort Saskatchewan? Because it's like 21,000 people. If it was 260. So I thought I'd double that to scale up for the size of population of Yukon. So maybe like 520 based on population. But even let's scale that up. Let's make it 4 times bigger, because Yukon is enormous and it's cold and there's lots of things to do. But still, like 2,000 people seems reasonable. But like 11,000? That's insane.
Yeah.
Well, and it's, it's really, it would maybe make sense if the municipality, if the size of, civilization was growing here, but really, like the problem with Whitehorse specifically, where most of this is happening, is most of the land around city limits, it's owned by Indigenous government. So you have to say you want to build a new subdivision, which they've been mildly successful at doing this. There's a large project called Whistle Bend, which helped, I guess, but you have to go through that process with them. It's not an easy thing to just say, even though most of the Yukon has literally nothing there, you could just build anything anywhere. There's so much red tape involved in getting it done, and they're meanwhile just dumping people here so fast. It's completely irresponsible. People don't have a doctor. People have nowhere to live. The cost of living is through the roof. It is insane now. And that is really what this election is about. And the Liberals have basically, in the last year, they more or less bankrupted the budget. There was a huge memo that went out. There's no spending allowed by anyone like over $1,000. The entire Liberal Party has basically fled in fear.
Yeah.
I think there's only one incumbent going for re-election. And, it's been a implosion. The race right now, it's between the NDP and the Yukon Party, but I'm pretty sure the Yukon Party is going to snatch the victory here pretty easily.
I want to ask, are you experiencing up there the same things that a lot of other parts of this country are experiencing with temporary foreign workers, where the locals are not being hired, but foreign work is being brought in? I'm just curious.
Basically, the Yukon and Whitehorse specifically, we're kind of like a microcosm of what the Liberals are doing at the federal scale.
Ugh.
And what happened actually last year is the Liberal Premier, Ranj Pillai, I know him, he had to freeze the temporary foreign worker program because they're like, this is a Liberal doing this. Let's keep in mind, like, that's how extreme the situation has gotten in here. I think we were like one of the first, or if not only, regions of Canada who froze the TFW program. And I looked up the stats on that. We get so here's the comparison. So in 2015, we were getting about 250 per year. The latest stats they've been showing has been averaging 250 to 300 temporary foreign workers per quarter. So again,
quadrupled your immigration. Yeah.
Where are they going to live? Like,
right.
I was shopping for a home. It took me 2 years before I got a home that was within my price range and that I was able to buy. I bought a property outside of city limits. And, the first home I bid on when I was at that stage of my life, the listing was for $699,000. And I bid $820,000 with $100,000 down and no conditions on the property. And I came in fourth.
Holy Hannah. So the competition for housing is just insane.
It's insane. And that's not just because of the population, although that's the major factor. We also have a lot of outside investment firms from Calgary. They see this, they look for situations around the nation where the housing market's hot, where there's this tight competition, and they come in and they hold on to things and then flip it for a profit over time, right? Or use it to hide money so that it doesn't evaporate through inflation.
Right. Doing the old Talib Nur Mohammed move.
Yes. Exactly.
Flipping your house.
Exactly.
Flipping your house and flipping your house and inflating the property values for everybody else trying to enter the market. Lise?
Well, I was just going to mention that Whitehorse is participating in the the National Housing Accelerator Fund, which provides funding to municipalities to help build houses faster. But we all know that when the federal government gets involved in these initiatives, nothing gets built faster and it's all more expensive. So they've announced a couple little things in Whitehorse recently. But basically, this is costing Canadians $4.4 billion across the nation to think up pretend solutions for a problem that the Liberals created for all of us together. It's too bad for Whitehorse. It's a beautiful community, but we're going to look at some of those properties later, DJ, because this is what we do on the live stream. Is like we tour.
Gonna kill time.
Realtor.ca listings. So we're going to see what $1 million gets you in Whitehorse, and I think that we will be shocked. Like $1 million. Remember back in the day when $1 million felt like just out of the, like, this would be an
Hollywood.
A French chalet, Sheila Gunn Reid.
Right.
Now we're going to see, after 10 years of Liberal rule in the country, what 1 million Canadian dollars gets you in Whitehorse.
In Toronto, it gets you a shanty. Maybe haunted, maybe not. DJ, I want to ask you about the Liberals' gun grab.
Mm.
How
Oh,
did
yeah.
that affect the provincial Liberals there? Did they have to wear that like a millstone around their necks? I hope so.
Well, both the provincial Liberals and our current MP, Brendan Hanley, they tried to sort of play it out of both sides of the mouth. So Brendan Hanley voted no to the gun grab, but it was like, come on, man! Like he was just doing that because everyone up here was against it. We have the highest gun ownership per capita in the country. Alberta's right behind us, and we also have the highest female gun ownership in Canada. We also have the highest Section 12.6 firearm ownership. So these are full autos prohibited. Okay. So basically, one out of every 4 houses, or excuse me, one out of every 11 houses in the Yukon has a prohibited firearm that was prohibited back like in 1995. And
Right.
basically, one out of every 4 houses has some kind of gun that's restricted or something. And then I think it's 1 out of 3 just has a gun, period. And that's just the legal gun ownership, right? There's always the people who just have firearms in the community that maybe don't have a license. That's always been a thing in Canada, whether people want to
Right.
like that or not. It's just the bottom line, because the problem with owning a gun in Canada right now is it exposes you to legal risk, and that is one of the things I'm really worried about with this gun grab. Is that the black market is exploding. Period.
Yep.
It's not. It's going to lead to more crime, and no gun owner out there wants.
Oh, I think we're frozen.
Oh no. No gun owner
Oh,
wants. DJ, the
okay.
last thing you said that we heard was no gun owner wants.
Bad people to have guns,
Right.
right? Like we want good people to have guns. We want everybody to be responsible and safe with these changes. I don't see that happening now. There's always going to be a demand for firearms, and the government choosing to isolate a corner of the market for confiscation is just going to lead to more illegal guns coming across the border, especially when they don't do anything about the border. It's just self-inflicted pain on the entire nation. So some exciting things, with the Yukon party up here. Curry Dixon I've been talking to him for a couple of years now on this. I first approached him, it was actually around a bonfire at a celebration of life for a mutual friend. And he recognized me from social media, and we started chatting. And I said, "Hey, listen, man, we got to do something. They're going to come up here for the gun soon. We got to take some steps here." And he said, "You know what? Give me a call tomorrow." And from there, I sent him all the statistical data, all the sort of the lay of the land, and he was incredibly responsive, and he's followed through on every commitment, every step of the way. So we just had a meeting last week with all the stakeholders there. Donovan Dewis from Canadian Access to Firearms was there. And sort of the key takeaways from that meeting were the development of the Yukon Firearms Act, which will be a similar firewall to what Alberta and Saskatchewan have done.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a bit different for us because we're a territory. So this is kind of like the legal Wild West. Some people will say you can't do it. Some people say you can. The bottom line is nobody knows. So we're just going to do it and find out. We're talking about potential firearm safety in the school curriculum.
Love it.
We're going to, well, we already have hunting programs in the school curriculum, right?
We do too. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have bison hunting, right? So the gun comes along on the trip to go harvest this bison. So don't you want the kids to know safety around firearms if they're going to be around a gun? Like, it just doesn't make sense, right?
Right.
And the sort of polling around this and the discussions with the community about this is wildly popular. Basically every parent up here loves their kids in the outdoor programs, wants them to learn how to hunt, things like this. It's a huge part of the Yukon way of life, and I think if he goes ahead with this, it will be great and very popular for him. We talked about investigating Yukon only firearms licensing. Yukon has its own driver's licensing. Why can't we have firearms licensing? They're talking about potential legislation to prevent municipalities from banning or confiscating so that we don't have this multi-layer runaround, anyone trying to cut out his knees, potential wilderness handgun carry, and of course, a chief firearms officer for the Yukon. These were all topics that were discussed and we're going to be looking at in the future. And another interesting one is potential development of a Yukon Firearms Advisory Council. So we have that at the federal level. So there's sort of a liaison to help advise not just the current government or the incoming government, but all future governments on a direction that the communities want to take with regarding firearms ownership. And if that happens, I'll definitely be seeking a position on that board, absolutely, to try and make sure that our voice is heard and we're not following dictate by Ottawa.
Sure, influencing the policy in
Correct.
Yukon. Yeah.
Well, and it can be done. That's what we're doing in Alberta. It's what they're doing in Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan's actually, I think, being a little bit more creative than we are by creating an agency to license the gun grabbers and then saying, by the way, we haven't funded that agency, so we won't be making any approvals, which I think is just the cleverest thing ever.
They've technically followed all the rules, but also not funded the agency that's going to do the work, the dirty work of the federal government. Like, it's kind of brilliant, a good workaround. You should consider that for the Yukon.
Yeah, that's along the lines that we're going to do. Is we're going to put the levers of power over confiscation in the hands of the territorial government. And Curry has also committed to making sure that any funding or backing from the territorial government to the RCMP, which is the lion's share, of course, is not directed towards confiscation efforts. And the police up here don't want to do it. They're all restricted firearms owners too. Like, we have real problems up here with drugs, crime, and they're gonna be in a situation where, like, if you sent an officer up here to go like confiscate somebody's gun, they're probably going to be friends with them. They're probably going to know these people. They're going to be in their neighborhood. Like, it's an impossible position for a police officer to navigate without serious social repercussion, I think. And you're talking about kicking in doors on reserves. And there's the First Nations governments up here are a huge part of the territory as well, and they have their rights and their traditional territories. So what are the optics on that? You're going to send the RCMP out to a remote community to take guns? I don't see that flying.
I don't think anybody wants another Oka style standoff with the RCMP. You touched on crime there for a second before we let you go. Are you guys afflicted with the same sort of out of control crime rates and drug problems that the rest of the country is being hammered with? And if so, to what extent did your Liberal government contribute to that?
Well, I would say that I went down to BC this summer.
Oh gosh.
And it was heartbreaking to see what's going on. There's people passed out on their face, defecating themselves in the streets, like barely clinging to life. Like, it was horrible. It was shocking to me. So we're definitely not that bad yet, but we have had, so many deaths up here. There's a small town called Mayo. You can go Google that, look up the opioid deaths in Mayo, how many young people died a couple of years ago. Like, it's really affecting the communities. The addiction is definitely out of control. And another big one here is just petty crime, like cars getting broken into, stuff like that, just really niggling stuff. And it's like an organized effort. There are people like roving through entire neighborhoods, and people are really furious about it. The people are installing cameras and stuff and like presenting this stuff to the police. Nothing ever really seems to happen. And the officers, of course, catch people and then they're forced to let them go. It's this same revolving door of, soft on crime crap.
Yeah.
and
Is it mostly RCMP policing up there,
yeah,
DJ? Or
we only have the RCMP. We don't
that's it.
have
Like
territory. Yeah.
no municipal police forces, or no, just
No,
RCMP. Okay.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, just out of the corner of my eye, I looked that for a time, and I don't know if the numbers still hold, but the Yukon was facing Canada's worst toxic drug death rate just based on population, seeing the highest number of overdoses. And again, it's based on population. So, 5
Yeah, per
deaths,
capita.
per capita. With in 2023, First Nations declared states of emergency as their members overdosed and died. Your Liberal government, did they, make any steps to ramp up treatment beds, consider forcible confinement? None of that?
I'm not aware of any dedicated programming, but
Ugh,
basically both the Liberal and NDP solution up here is throw money at it and hire people. And
yeah,
then the bureaucracy, of course, swallows up the lion's share of the money, and the people affected really don't get the help. And then the Indigenous communities specifically, a lot of that burden gets passed on to their First Nations government themselves to
yeah,
do it. And they have limited resources, and like most Indigenous communities up here, we have a different situation than most of the Canada. That most of the land claims up here have been settled,
yeah,
but you'll see like you're driving into town and it's like drug dealers are not welcome. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like the Indigenous, they're done with it too. It's killing their young people,
Nice.
and
It's like that
Yeah.
in Alberta. Yeah,
Good.
yeah,
it is.
it's really rough to see. But it's not just Indigenous; it's people from every walk and day of life, and it's gotten out of hand. And there's final thing I want to touch on too, which is
Please do.
just another practical problem that the Yukon is facing. Is we have, because of this massive influx of people in the last 10 years, the Yukon, we only have one hydroelectric dam,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
There we
we're
go. We were
having,
just talking about this in the lead up. Thanks, DJ. Yeah, tell us about your power infrastructure.
well, it's failing. So we're just overloaded now. Since this, like Whistle Bend was the community I talked about, where it's a subdivision, they're putting in all these new houses. The mandate there, because of the Liberals, was all of the houses had to be electric heat, no fireplaces allowed,
Oh my
no oil
God.
heating, only electric heat.
Could you
So
imagine trying to survive in the Yukon without a fireplace? Canada, could you
Or
imagine?
oil heating and then not having a functioning electric grid to support
It's
oh my goodness.
it's a subarctic climate, and that's the priority. Oh,
Wow.
yeah,
unforgivable. There's a reason they're not looking like they're gonna do too good tonight, but continue, DJ. Yeah.
Yes, sorry, go ahead.
okay. So this is where, so that's bad, right?
Yeah.
We bring a whole bunch of people here, and then we mandate all the new homes to have electric heat. So we just dump this massive increase on the grid, and the dam has been overloaded. It's been running over capacity for years now. So what do? They bring on natural gas generators and diesel generators to supplement the thing. So they don't actually even affect the carbon footprint, so to speak. If
No, if you care about that.
Right.
yeah, exactly, right. So they're going to have to truck all this fuel up here and everything. Like we don't have our own way to get the fuel. So like it's not actually a net climate, savings.
Right.
Anyways, so it's completely foolish. And now, basically, to meet the demand, we're going to try and tie into the BC grid, and the result of all this shenanigans is that next year basically they're planning to increase electricity rates by 34%. And
Oh,
yes, and this is going to, like, people are up in arms about it. Like at peak winter here, minus 40, if you're an electric
Yeah.
house, you can easily get a $700-800 electricity bill, not an exaggeration, for 1 month. And so now you're talking about increasing that by 30-35%, and well, it's 34%, I believe, is the number. So the
You're
Yukon
looking
party
at
is
over
going to do away with that.
$1,000.
Yeah,
yeah. That's
and
abuse. That's abuse for the climate you live in.
It's crazy. It's one of the reasons I moved out of city limits. I got my own rural property now. I have unlimited firewood around my house,
Yes,
you
you
know,
do. Yes, you're a
and
wood burner.
yeah, I have electric, excuse me, and oil as a supplement because I work out of town all the time, so I can't
Sure.
keep the fire going when I'm not there.
Right.
But I can tell you, like, since moving out of Whitehorse, I would say my total energy costs, like electric, purchasing firewood, purchasing fuel, I pay about 3,500 a year in total. I would say when I was in Whitehorse, it was like 3,500. Between November to January.
Oh my
Like
God.
it, yeah,
It's
like
12 grand
it's
a year, 15
yeah,
grand a year. That's
yeah,
horrific.
like if you got oil and electric heat in your house, you're screwed. You're screwed.
Ugh.
And there's nothing you can do. It's -40 outside.
Right.
So
Right. And your pipes
um,
freeze. Like if you don't,
correct.
and it's not like you can be like, okay, well, I'm not home. I just won't have the heat on. You have
Yeah,
to have the heat on. Your pipes freeze. And then
Yes.
yeah.
your house is destroyed. Oh
People
my
can
God.
die easily. Yeah.
Yep, for sure.
So yeah, we're really hoping for a big change in government up here. I am. You know, the Yukon party there's no perfect political
Nope.
party, right?
That's right.
But I think that Curry has heard the writing on the wall. He's looking to make some changes that I think will significantly, uh, you know, really help Yukoners with respect to cost of living. Oh, there's one other thing too. The NDP up here, they put in a rent control policy.
Oh,
Mm.
no, that's how you have no builders.
Well, exactly. And what happened was they basically they made it so that the only way to increase your rent was you would have to evict your tenant, then do renovations, and then you could raise the rent on the new property. So this basically had a gun to the head of every homeowner.
Mhm.
You
Right.
know, while the federal liberals are deficit spending, causing inflation, making these rate changes, so nobody's like able to pay their mortgage,
Right.
off the rental income anymore. And then, of course, to correct that situation, now you're displacing people, kicking them out, so they have to find a
Sure.
new place.
Right.
And like it's just all they should have done was nothing. If they'd have just done nothing, the rents would have
Or
increased
make
and
it
decreased.
easier to build. That's how
Yes,
you get more supply. You make it
or
easier to build. But when you bring in rent control,
mhm,
the builders, the investors, the people who just want a second property as an investment vehicle, they say, no, no, thank you. I'm not doing that, because you're stuck footing the difference.
yeah.
Yes.
So everybody's been affected by that. Everybody's faced the consequences of that. Homeowners and renters alike. The power thing, like nobody can afford a 30% increase in electricity next year.
No.
Like it's insanity. So I'll be pretty surprised if Curry doesn't win tonight, but never say never.
Right.
But this is the beginning of a turnaround. I'm hoping for the Yukon to get back to some sanity, and build a firewall against federal gun confiscation. And I think that if he is successful here tonight, that this idea will spread to the other territories as well. Once we pave the way, the Northwest Territories, they're not going to want a gun grab up there. None of it's not going to want a
No.
gun grab up there. They got polar bears, man. Polar bears
Right.
actually hunt human beings.
They do.
Like
Yeah.
it's just silly. So,
Yeah.
um, we'll see what happens, but I'm feeling positive now. And one final note I would like to say to all viewers right now is that over the last few years, so many terrible things have happened in our country. There's been a lot of frustration, and conservatives, we've gotten really good about complaining about it, about rage farming, and about bringing attention to the issues. And while that's good, and it's helping people realize that how Canada is structured, how our governments are structured, there's something wrong with it. And, we need to correct that, but it's also an indicator that we need to stop being reactive. Like by the time you're mad about something, it's too late.
Right.
And I've spoken to several of the MLAs up here and said, you guys need to not only correct the problems that the Liberals have brought upon the territory, but you have to start governing for the future. You have to
Yeah.
start putting in proactive legislation to make sure this never happens again,
Danielle Smith.
and we stop them before it can start.
That's right. Yeah, govern for the future, not for the now. That's what I think Danielle Smith is doing here in Alberta. I want to ask you one last question. Predictions for tonight. How many seats do you think the Yukon Party is going to get?
You know, it's on the one hand, the Yukon Party is probably they could sweep it. You know, honestly, but on the other hand, the person who's running, Kate White, the NDP candidate, she's well liked in the community. She's actually a very nice person, and she does have the best intentions. She's trying to help.
Sure,
You know
she's
what I mean?
not evil. She's just wrong. Yeah,
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
She's just wrong. If we elect her, we're going to get more of the same. More of the same. What we've had is a disaster. So we have to move away from the disaster. And you know, I think that the NDP will cling to a few seats, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Liberals are wiped completely off the map in entirety. So we'll see what happens.
My prediction, 17 seats for the Yukon Party.
Oh, sorry, number, yes. 17.
Yeah, give me a number.
So there's 21 total, I believe.
Yep.
So I'm going to say 16.
Okay, I'm writing it down.
Okay,
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Okay, DJ, thanks so much for taking the time. We sort of popped it on you and you agreed, so I appreciate that. Glad we got to talk again. It's been far too long. Tell people how they can find you and see some of the things that you're talking about.
I'm on X. I go by the handle Yukon Strong, and I haven't been as active lately as I normally am. I've just been trying to take a bit of a breather from social media. It's a
Smart.
stressful area.
Yep.
But moving forward, particularly with Alberta independence, I'm going to be ramping it up again. And yeah, I will engage with anyone on any issue. I'm not afraid to speak my mind, and I am not, like I said, going to be chased out of my country by communists. And I want to say two thank yous to the ladies here. This whole podcast or webcast, excuse me, you guys have referred to the territory as the Yukon. Most of the outsiders up here, they drop that they just say in Yukon, and that's not how Yukoners pronounce it. So
It's the always.
I'm very proud of you girls.
Oh, thank you.
You said it correctly, and every Yukoner watching this will appreciate you furthering that language. It's the folks from down south. They try to co-opt the away. So it's the Yukon. Everybody remember that.
We won't snatch your the from you. You know,
Thank you.
Lisa's from Saskatchewan and I'm from Fort Saskatchewan. And people from the prairies have a very distinct way of saying Saskatchewan versus people from outside of the prairies. It's also how you know. Yeah.
Yes, it's a tell. It's a tell. Now we'll be able to fit right in the Yukon when we go road tripping up there, Sheila.
Yes.
They won't know that we're not. They'll just assume that we're locals.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. If you guys ever come up here, be sure to let me know.
You'll be the first one to know, DJ. First.
Yeah. Don't come in the winter. You'll freeze your ass off.
No.
Well, actually, in February, there's a pretty good party. It's called Rendezvous. That might be fun. But come in the summer, we'll go to the gun range. You know, I can show you around, dirt biking, quads, whatever you want to do.
It's like
I never left home.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking our language, DJ, you're just luring us to the Yukon. Look at you.
We
should be on the tourism board.
We're ladies who camp on the weekends. We have
awesome.
Yeah, Lisa's a van lifer and I'm a trailer lady. And we just do our little lady thing on the weekend. So we might just do it all the way up to the Yukon.
But we are due for like a massive road trip, Sheila. So this would actually be perfect.
Yes.
Yeah. If you come up actually in September, it's legal to get a small games hunting license up here for an out of province person. And I, as a fully licensed hunter, could take you guys out and we could go whack some spruce chickens.
This is our carnival cruise, Sheila Gunn Reid.
Right,
what he's describing here is our carnival cruise. We'll go hunting.
Some ladies go to Cabo.
Yeah. I've actually never been to Mexico. I've been all over the world, but never to Mexico.
You're not missing much.
No,
You're
it's
okay.
fine. You
Yeah.
can drink coconut drinks anywhere. Let's say bye to DJ. Thank you so much, DJ, for coming
Oh,
on the show.
so
We'll
good.
talk soon, and we will take you up on your offer.
Okay.
I promise you that. Let's hit an ad break, and then we'll come right back.
Thanks, guys.
So good, buddy.
That was
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you.
Gun bans
We're
may
coming.
be distractions.
Trudeau may be gone, but Carney has picked up his same
We
rhetoric.
will quickly, and I mean quickly, reinvigorate the buyback of
Hunters, collectors, competitors, and defenders of tradition are still being targeted, while criminals run wild under Liberal policy. But we are fighting back. Join us, Canada's National Firearms Association, in defense of freedom.
You like the hat? Me too. Same strong message about making Canada great again, but in a really cool color, black and gold. There's other colors available, and it's an all Canadian site. So if you want to signal your tribe or trigger a Liberal, go to mcgahats.ca today.
Do you agree with me? It is time to make Canada great again. And that is why we at Rebel News have teamed up with MCGA Hats to introduce, well, the fashion sensation of 2025. Oh, and by the way, these beautiful hats, they are made in Canada. We don't rely on cheap imports coming over from China. So what are you waiting for, folks? Show your pride. This is the perfect thing for a patriot to wear, or maybe there's a patriot in your life that you would like to gift such a hat. Please go to mcgahats.ca. That's mcgahats.ca. Don't be shy about it. Wear this cap. Let everybody know you want to make Canada great again.
All right.
Isn't
Go ahead.
Yukon Strong just a beaut?
Isn't he
Just
great?
Ooh.
He's gonna
I mean-
have his hands full with us next September.
Can't wait.
And I can't wait. We're going up there. Okay, let's just check in, Efron, if you could so kindly bring up the Yukon votes page just so we can sort of see where we're at. We've got the Yukon Party leading in 4, NDP in with 1, and now the NDP leading in 2, and I bet you that's in Kate White's riding if I had to guess. I just checked a minute ago, and no results were in her riding of Takini Copper, what is it? Takini Copper King. She's leading there by, I don't know, 14 votes, but that's like that's one of 8 polls coming in. Just
Early. Yeah.
early.
Yeah.
In Klondike, that's going to go directly to the NDP. The NDP candidate there, Brent McDonald, although like they have one of 8 polls, but like 23 votes to 1. The Liberals are just getting absolutely strangled though here.
Oh, I mean,
They haven't even broken 50 votes. Like, although it's real early, but
please let this be foreshadowing for the next federal election.
Susan
and I
Holt
love-
stands alone.
I love this.
Yeah.
Oh, she can.
Yeah, she sure can.
She sure can.
I want to just, if we could go through some of the polling data leading up to this. So, back in August, there was a Leger poll. I might have put it in the chat, Efron. It was, I didn't find the poll, or maybe I did, but it was just a Yukon Party press release. So Yukon Party commissioned Leger in August to just see
Okay.
where people were at.
Right.
And initially, this poll was written off because it was commissioned by the Yukon Party, but they commissioned a
Right.
nonpartisan. I mean, we have at Rebel News, we've commissioned Leger to do polling for us. You know, if you have a
reputable polling firm. Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
So they found that Yukoners were ready for a change in government, and they had a 13-point lead over the Liberals. Sorry, actually a 13-point lead over the NDP. So, and this is why they, even though they got a new leader back in June, the Liberals did, he didn't have a seat in the legislature, and they didn't want to call that election. They let it go as long as they possibly could,
Right.
because they knew they were going to absolutely get smoked.
Right.
So Yukon Party at the time was at 43%, NDP at 30%, Liberals at 25%, and the other parties are polling at 1% support. So that was in August.
Yeah.
So they made they had that press release in September once they got their polling data. So
Right.
Forum Research, this is the latest poll. I think it was a couple days ago. November 3rd, they just released it. So this is the last poll, Election Day poll.
Okay.
They have Curry Dixon's Yukon Party positioned to form majority government. In a random sampling of 697 Yukoners, 48.1. So even more. This is even more than the Leger poll. Of those who are decided are likely to vote for the Yukon Party. 39 are likely to vote for the NDs, while only like 11.9, so 12% are likely to vote for the Liberal Party. So the Liberal vote just absolutely collapsed.
Plummeted.
It went to the NDs, but it also went to the Yukon Party.
And that happened within 6 weeks. That happened in the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's pretty telling.
Yeah, and I think, Efron, there's still one more poll in there. If I can find it. It was the Polara one. Maybe I didn't put it in. I think I did. It was the Polara was done by, I think it was, maybe it was commissioned by the NDP, but Polara is an NDP pollster. And this is what the NDP pollster had. And this was at the end of October.
Okay.
So they had the Yukon Party leading with even more. And this is the NDP pollster. 52% for the Yukon Party, 34% to the NDP, and the Yukon Liberals a distant third at 11. So they're sort of holding at 11. But here, voters, 13% were undecided, and 37% said they're open to changing their
minds before Election Day, which is the only positive that they could have possibly gleaned from this. Was there's a whole bunch of undecided people who said that they're just going to wait on it so we can still win them over, guys.
Well, and look at this. The Yukon Party leads by 17 points within Whitehorse. So the largest city, the seat of government, the Conservative Party
That's incredible. That's incredible considering how many government employees Yukon Strong just told us they have there. 1 in 4 people in the Yukon are employed by the government. So that is incredible. Yeah.
Now, Yukon Party has been polling consistently high, and they've been they commissioned a Leger poll back in February, they commissioned it in January. They got the results in February. They had their press release middle of February. 71% of voters at the time think it's time for a Yukon general election. When people want to go to the polls like right now, that's a harbinger of change.
Yes.
And at the time, the Yukon Party was in the lead at 41%, NDP at 34%, and the Territorial Liberals sat at 23%. And that was lower than the 25.3 vote share the party received when it was reduced to 2 seats in 2011. I think they might get 1 seat. I think their leader, Mike Pemberton, might get a seat, but I'm not sure. It might be the Speaker of the House. I forget his name. Jeremy Hartburn. So actually, we should check on his seat. He's at Whitehorse West is Mike Pemberton. But it's just been some interesting polling in the north, and it makes me real happy to see it. Real happy to see them getting rid of their Liberals.
Yeah.
Let's run back and check on the election again. If we can check on the results. So, those results look, it just changed for me. Let me update it. So, okay. So Yukon Party, 57.4%, New Democrats, 36.2%. And the Liberals are actually lower, although it's still early, than those last polling numbers that put them at like 11%. I guess the undecideds went to the NDP, didn't they?
Well, but that's still even though there's only 10 of 158 polls reporting, that is still a pretty healthy lead by the Yukon Party as of this early stage.
The
NDP roughly half. Yeah.
I am looking for the riding of Whitehorse West, if we have any of those results in. Whitehorse, oh my goodness. Wouldn't you look at that? Whitehorse West. Efron, please bring up Whitehorse West. I was wrong when I said the Liberals might take that seat. I was just misinformed. Laura Lang,
wow.
The Conservative candidate. Again, only 1 of 8 polls reporting. This could change, of course. Is leading in the seat. The NDs are second, and Mike Pemberton, who is...
Mike's getting a spanking, is what looks like is happening here.
That's quite something. It's quite something. I wonder where is Jeremy
Early days
Harper.
yet. This could change. It will change. Yeah. But right now, this is oof.
There was one, I thought it was funny. 338. Can you bring up the 338 page? So 338
is a poll aggregator.
They've got nothing on the Yukon election.
Oh.
Yeah. They sort of tend liberal. There was one. Shoot. Forum. Yeah, so this is just federally, so this means nothing to us.
Right.
And when I went through that forum research, if you go to the forum's main page, you can see that they wildly frequently underestimate the strength of the Conservative vote. For example, they had the Liberals in Newfoundland and Labrador winning that in a majority.
Ooh, instead of Tony Wakeham.
Yeah. So anyways, they've got the Yukon Party projected to win 14 seats. I said 17. DJ said 16. And they've got the NDP to get 7.
Huh.
But they've got no Liberals to win.
Well, good.
Yeah, I'm not sad about it.
No, if we can see an entire provincial Liberal Party wiped out, and I think that's a win for the entire country. That's not just a win for Yukon. We're sharing it with them.
Oh, okay. We've got some chats. Let's go through the chats and then we'll do what we do. We'll compare real estate listings.
Okay.
I found a house trailer in Whitehorse and I am comparing it to a house trailer in suburban upscale Edmonton.
Okay.
And we'll just compare the prices. But before we do that, we'll get into we've got a bunch of chats, so we're going to read them.
Okay.
Silver Feet, who has been giving us DEI stuff, says, "Hi, ladies. Keep up the good fight. Here's some inside info. Multiple government departments have had their daily operations completely crash into crisis because of terminations, and the budget will be the final nail." Oh, well, I couldn't be happier to hear this.
I'm not going to get my pom-poms out unless 40% of the federal workforce is made redundant, okay?
Right.
But as soon as we hit that 40%, my pom-poms are coming out and I'm not stopping for one solid calendar week.
It's funny though. Maybe they'll get our point of, spend less on foreign DEI programs and the climate scare and gender health colonizing the African continent.
Yes.
If we spent less on that, we might have money for your salaries here, but you pushed the DEI ball too far down the hill, didn't you?
Yeah.
And picked up too much steam.
You went
And
too
now-
far to the left. Now we got to just rein it back. We just got to get it back to something resembling common sense.
Time to pay the piper, bureaucrats. These were your bad ideas. Now you get to lose your job because of them. Politicians Never Lie, give us $5. Cool stream. Rebel News #1. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Stell MG 279. Yukon for referendum on independence. Do you know what? Let's get the first domino knocked over, and then all the other dominoes may fall or not. It's up to them to decide. But somebody should show everybody that it is indeed possible, and it ain't going to be Quebec.
That's true. That's true. Who knew? Maybe the Yukon is going to show us the pathway forward, depending on what happens tonight, of course, but it's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah. Sasquatch Chronicles. $4.99. Liberalism leads to socialism, which leads to communism. Ronald Reagan, play that ad, Doug Ford, since you're such a fan of our former president. Amen. Amen.
Oh.
What a buffoon Doug Ford is.
You know, remember when Corner Gas, like when Corner Gas was a show we were all watching, and every time they mentioned Woolerton, this was the rival town over, everybody in Dog River would spit. Right, I'm at that place with Doug Ford, where I hear that name and I just something in me just like, oh.
Yeah, it's how people in
Woolerton.
Saskatchewan feel about Sherwood Park, or what
Is
is
it?
one's the blue collar, one's the like white SUV driving ladies, and I drive a white SUV, but I'm not one of those ladies. I don't carry a Stanley Cup and wear yoga pants. And what's the Shelbyville in Springfield?
Yes.
It's like that. Well, look at this. Hey, stream, let me know. I have a question to ask you about this. And also, before I invite myself, I should also ask the target of my story. So let me know. This is from Tamara Leach, trucker hero,
She's such a
political
babe.
dissident, enemy of the state, 5'0" grandmother Tamara Leach.
Yep.
She says, looking forward to seeing Yukon Strong here tonight. Have a great show, ladies. Much love from my community incarceration.
Thank you, honey. We're so happy to be joining you in your community incarceration and to help you kill the hours.
Now, that is the question that I want to ask.
What?
Would you guys at home like to see what a day in the life of Tamara Leach's community incarceration looks like?
Say less. Say less. All I want is a check-in every 10 or so minutes.
I would like...
Just all stitched together. So I see this, so I see the whole day.
Okay. Because, and again, I probably should ask Tamara before I ask the world if this is a good story idea. But I think that you guys would be interested in how she manages community incarceration. You know, like she is obviously public enemy #1. and people should run to their cars if they see her on her hour that she has allowed to get groceries a week or whatever it is. I would, of course, I don't want to sit in the room when she checks in with her probation officer or her parole officer. I'm not sure which one it is.
Sheila, I would be Tamara Leach's parole doula, where I'm just there as a support person.
I would like to sit in the lobby and just take it all in, for sure. I feel like that would be a interesting situation for me to find myself in. And maybe
Sheila, I love this
tag
so
along
much.
on a broadcast on her podcast with Chris Barber.
We could do that from my van, all of us together in one place. We could just load us all in the van, do a lot. That would be actually the most epic adventure, too.
Yeah.
I love this.
Podcast
Tamara,
called?
let
House
us know.
Arrest? House Arrest? Is it called
House Arrest is her podcast. Yeah.
So I'm just
Her and
curious. You guys let me know. Would you like for me to ask Tamara? Tamara, I'm asking you right now.
Yeah.
I have a few things on the go in the month of November and perhaps early December. We've got the Sask Party AGM coming up. I'm, as you know, going to Brazil to the climate change conference. Then I've got the UCP AGM. Then I've got a secret thing that I'm doing. And then so if I could squeeze it in, and preferably on a Thursday, because that's when they record House Arrest.
Yeah.
Would is it a good idea if I try to do that? Let me know. Also,
The answer-
Tamara, can I do that? Thanks.
Do I get a vote? I vote yes.
Yeah, for
okay.
sure.
If anybody's listening, I vote for yes. Also, this just sounds like another great adventure starting. So, no, but I think it would be adorable too. I think it would be adorable to see her in her sort of natural habitat as she. I mean, I was thinking about this the other day. You know, for all Tamara Leach and Chris Barber did to get lockdowns ended in Canada,
And now they ended up on one.
The government is still insisting they go into lockdown. Like that is what happened in the end for the same amount of time as the COVID lockdown. It's pretty incredible. Anyway, I look forward to this adventure with her.
Yes. Anyways, let me know. Also, Tamara, am I allowed? Can I come? Okay. Then we've got Ted Tunes. This is an unpaid chat, but it was interesting, and I regret not asking it. But also, maybe he would have thought that I was a crazy lady because my kids watched that live stream, and they're like, "Mom, shut up about the old hag and your sleep paralysis demons." They're mortified, like beside themselves. Anyways, Ned Toon says, does Yukon have a frozen old hag story? I wish I had asked.
What is your... I bet they would have a Yeti or a Sasquatch of some kind. You know what I mean? That's where we're going with this. Yeah,
Dude.
I bet they do.
Yeah, there's like a whole manner of cryptids up there. We could have had a Wendigo story. I know plenty about those. There's like...
A what to go?
Oh, a Wendigo. Wendigo. He's the hunger spirit. Oh, okay. I will tell you. We've got to. I'll get through the chats. We'll check the real estate prices.
Okay.
Let's put a pin in this and come back because I will tell you the story of Swift Runner, the Wendigo of Fort Saskatchewan, who was hung after eating his family, and he is not the only Wendigo in these parts. We have a real Wendigo problem out there. And you're going to think twice about it when you try to sleep in my yard next time you're in your van. You're going to want to come in the house.
I feel like the Wendigos might get me. The Wendigo,
Yeah.
Sheila, I just want to, I sleep in graveyards. Like it's
fine.
actually,
You don't have to worry about Wendigos there. They're more of like a hunger thing. And I'm sure I bet they have a real Wendigo problem in the north, especially with the price of groceries.
The hunger spirit, the great
spirit.
hunger spirit,
Yes.
starving under these economic constraints.
For sure. Kitty, what is your problem? Okay, let's keep going. We've got Marry Me Cat W402C says, Marry Me Yukon. DJ would make a good president of the Republic of Yukon, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Northern BC.
I mean, that's a pretty great compliment.
Yeah. Chicletization 699. Hello, beautiful lady. So thank you so much. I remarked that I was dressed like a struggling veteran, and I was chilly. And this is the only thing I could put my hands on before I jumped on the stream. C70 Angus, $5. Lise, when I hear Doug Ford, I spit greenies.
You do it. Okay, good. Both of us then. Yeah, that makes
Yep.
2 of us. Yeah.
Rocky Mountain Duke gives us $10 and says, my election stream divas. Shocked to hear that 50% of the Yukon economy is federal employees. Your pending road trip to the Yukon should be live streamed. That is not a terrible idea. I have Starlink on the trailer now.
We've talked about this before because we really do get into some, really extraordinary circumstances on the road, and we say to ourselves,
some
like,
characters.
People would love this, and then we just tootle on to another place. But let us consider it. Thank you.
Yeah. We've considered, again, let us know. This would not be Rebel affiliated. It would have to live on some other YouTube channel. But reviewing small towns. We have a very specific list of criteria by which we judge a small town, and we don't like a big town. We like a small town. And
one main street. Yes.
Yeah. One main street. We want to know about, Kitty, get out of here. We want to know about your dive bar. This is Margaret Scratcher, my cat, showing everybody her bum. Get down, Kitty. Anyways, Margaret Scratcher. We judge a town by how they upkeep their graveyard, how they treat their war veterans in the graveyard.
It's telling about a community, for sure it is. Yes.
You're downtown, and by downtown I mean Main Street, where you have your little tiny grocery store, maybe your hotel with the dive bar, and your bric-a-brac store, your little knick-knack store. I love a good knick-knack store.
Yeah. You know what else I love on our toodles is the little free libraries in small towns. Because I have sworn off public libraries in Canada because they are staffed by crazy QP activists. Yeah, QP activists, they're down for the drag queens with the little kids and stuff. And so I love me a little free library. And I have got some banging books out of Saskatchewan and Alberta small towns, out of those little free libraries, like just incredible. So
we've got one more.
So, I know you guys are scintillated. I know you guys are like,
I know.
Wow, they go there to visit the graveyard and the little free library. Yes. And you know what happens? Magic. That's what happens.
Sometimes you find a good, you sort of see who's widowed auntie died by the dump of books into the little small library, because it's all like Louis L'Amour and Harlequin romance novels.
You know that's happened when it's full of trashy romance novels. But then you also, then when your great uncle dies and all of the books about World War II, for instance, are in there, and international conflict and geopolitical stuff, that's when actually that happened in Regina, Sheila. I took probably 8 books out of little free libraries, and they all had the same library stamp on the inside from the same guy. So that's, I think, what happened there too.
Silver Feet gives us $5 and says, yes, Life of Tamara would be spectacular. Now I just have to ask the target of my story what else is she doing? She's on house arrest.
That's exactly it. It would just be the funnest day.
Yeah.
It would just be the funnest day.
We've got one from Annalisa. She is stricken with the fire of 1,000 suns in her bosom for David Menzies for some reason.
I'm right there with you, Annalisa. I am. Okay, I share your adoration of David Menzies. I share it.
Yeah. Annalisa sometimes will, if David and I are on the live stream together, send a chat knowing I'm the one that reads the chat, so that she can make me say embarrassing and modestly perverted things to David Menzies, but in the PGest of PG ways.
I might start.
But her
doing
money's
that
good.
Too.
Her money's good.
I might start doing that too. $20 just to watch you squirm for a second. I mean, yeah, money well spent.
You
And
know
then-
that I am like the prudiest prude of all the prudes.
It just makes her so uncomfortable. It just makes her so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So to have to like gratuitously compliment David Menzies, be like,
Like
no, he's the
I'm a
best.
super prude. Like I'm one of those. Did you watch Arrested Development? The Never Nude. Tobias Funke always wore jorts under his clothes. That's me. Anyway, I don't like just all of it. I have no patience for any of it.
No, I don't either.
No. The Sasquatch Chronicles. For Halloween, I went as Carney's budget. My humor was lost on Americans. Canadians would have appreciated it. C700 Angus, $5. Lise, do you read the graves? Read to the graves in the graveyard with your books.
Actually, yeah, no, I do. Like I do I do work. I do work when I'm there, and actually, yeah, I do. One of my grandma's sisters wrote a book. It's my favorite book on planet Earth, and I reference it every time I go. So yes, actually, I do. Thank you for asking.
We've got the Yukon party with 11 seats and the NDs at 3. So the NDs have to stay. What do I have them at? What did I say? 17? They have to have 4 seats.
Okay.
Yeah. It's very exciting. Is CBC
How many
calling
polls
it yet?
How many polls are we reporting here?
25 of 158.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
we got a ways to go.
Quite some way to go. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, let's start looking at real estate.
Oh,
we want to bring up, I think you and I picked the same $1 million house.
Did we?
On MLS. Yeah.
It's pretty, it's got some pretty great features.
But I think it's a $600,000 house in my neck of the woods.
It's real, like listen, I would expect a lot more for $1 million, but then again, like you said, in Toronto, for $1 million, you get a shoebox with like a shared bathroom.
Yeah, this is $1 million.
Here comes your Rebel News real estate report.
Yeah, this is what we do to kill time as we wait for the pollsters to poll. Now, this is a house in Boxwood Crescent in Whitehorse, Yukon. It is on a half-acre lot.
It is. It's got a million things going for it. Not only is it cute as a button and a very nice color, that butter yellow, I really appreciate. And those dormer windows, farmhouse style. You got the wraparound porch there on the main level. Plus, it looks like an extensive garage and yard to go with it.
Yep.
A couple of sunlights.
Thank you for saying it properly. Garage.
Garage.
Yeah.
Grage.
Garage.
How do you say it, Canada?
Yeah. Do you say garage?
Garage.
Or
like the fancy French way? You're going to go,
garage.
I'm going to go smoke fancy French cigarettes in my garage.
Right.
No,
wear
your
garage. Black smoking gloves. Smoke in your garage. As they say, the Brits say garage. Garage? Is that what they say? No, it's garage.
Garage. Yeah, one syllable.
It's one syllable.
Look at this place. It is cute as a button. Efren, can we go inside? Can we take, because I do want to.
Deck.
I
love the butter yellow and burgundy.
Isn't it lovely? So it has a beautiful entry with like a vaulted space above. You know what this reminds me of?
The wood paneling and the Tiffany lamps.
This reminds me of the Home Alone house. Slightly less fancy than the Home Alone house. Same layout with the staircase up the center, and then you have your living spaces off to the side and your kitchen at the back. Same kind of layout.
I will tell you though, I find the carpeting in the front entrance, the
distracting
leafy stuff, a little bit too matchy for my like. And I am because the little set of drawers is the same blue, and then there's that same blue over there. It's just a little too much, and it feels out of place. It feels tropical in a house that's very farmhouse style.
Agreed.
Okay,
agreed. Yeah.
And I say this as someone whose decorating style is this old? Is it dead? Are the bugs done with it? I'll pack it in and put it on a wall. My kids were like, you have to stop decorating with dead things you find in the yard. But they're
Don't.
cool antlers. They're fine.
I just posted a taxidermy deer head, like a flagrantly amazing
I
deer
thought it
head,
was
taxidermy deer
wonderful.
head. And I was like, I need this for my
I
front
would put
entry.
it right there.
I'm
right
telling the
behind you.
world we could do it. So look at this
Okay, let's-
yard. So it has like a little greenhouse back there or something going on.
Yeah, it looks like my greenhouse.
Yeah, looks gorgeous, but an extensive property. I love the wraparound deck. Ephraim, can we? Yeah, let's just keep touring. Look at that, so nice.
I like
So
the kitchen. The kitchen is
color,
nice.
the color of this room here, like that grayish green, that really
Yeah.
grayish green. A good substitute for that is Owl Gray by Benjamin Moore. I know this because I painted my whole house this color. So
I like the kitchen.
okay, I'm wild about punchy colored kitchen cabinetry. Like,
Yep.
remember back in the olden days when they used to have pink kitchens and yellow kitchens and avocado green kitchens? I love this for a kitchen update for this house. Like, I love it.
I don't mind at all. I like all the wood paneling in here. I like all the
Yeah.
mixes of wood too. Like
Yeah.
in this, we've got the blue painted wood. Looks like we've got some oak there, different color on the table, different color
Yeah.
on the flooring. And then we've got this like white chair rail that if you
Yeah.
look divides the room between like this little sitting area with the
Yeah. You got a
anyway.
huge
Oh, look
pantry.
at that
Look
pantry.
at this. I
You
know.
know I
I
love
know.
a pantry.
All the women on the live stream just went, yes, this is what we need. Look at their little banana hanger. Like, I appreciate this. This is a 10-star pantry right here for the
This
people
is
selling this house.
yeah.
Nice.
If you
Oh,
have
Sheila,
a
look.
family of 6, look at this gym.
It's not bad. Hard floors. Got a
We've
beautiful
got weights.
mudroom.
Yeah, the mudroom is great. Look at all that shoe
Look at that.
storage.
Look at that teeny tiny little sink. Just the teeny tiniest little ensuite bathroom. Perfect.
That's all you need.
Oh, and then they gave us the 3D rendering. So anyway, this is what 1 million Canadian dollars gets you
In Yukon.
Whitehorse. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a beautiful house.
Yeah.
Oh, this
I
is
mean, but this in my
masterpiece.
neck
Yeah.
of the woods, 600,000
Yeah. Same
on
in
3
stuff.
acres. On 3 acres, not a half acre.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
This poppy is punishing me. I'm telling you, I've been stabbed 755 times during this broadcast. I'm not complaining. I'm not.
Now I dug up a house trailer because if you're coming up there, you're getting and you're just landing there. I
Right.
looked at condos. Small condos were like $400,000, like apartment style condos. I was like, ooh, what else could you get? So this is what I found.
Oh, cute as a button. Look at it.
Look, I'm not anti-house trailer. I believe that everybody has to start somewhere, and actually, they're a fine solution.
I grew up poor. There's no shame in this game.
No, exactly.
Nope.
So got a little house trailer at the backyard. It's on, if I understand, it's on a lot with lot fees. Upgraded bathroom. Lots of storage. It's your standard linear home of a house trailer, right? Like everything is in a line. The bathroom is plenty nice. The flooring's nice. The kitchen
Nice
is
little
fine.
kitchen.
Yep.
Actually, that looks a lot like my existing kitchen. Like a lot like my existing kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it has, I love how they have the aerial photographs. So it's got a backyard. Looks like parking for several cars up front.
Ooh, look at that bathroom, Sheila Gunn Reid. Listen,
That's what I said. The bathroom looks great.
I could spend some time in that corner soaker tub, like 100% with my books. The end.
Yeah. And so this is
That's lovely.
235,000 there, and it's on. You'd probably have lot fees on this. Which is what is the case with any house trailer that you don't have on a chunk of land that you own. It would be somewhere where it's on a lot. So then I thought, what is a similar property in my neck of the woods? And I think I put it in the chat just to compare, because I said,
How much was it, Sheila? It was
30, I think.
230. Oh, no, this is a different one. 100. So
It's a different one.
You can get 112.9
Yeah.
starter home in the Yukon. I think that one had some pretty nice finishes and some pretty nice upgrades.
So this is just your standard house trailer. Now you are in a nice trailer park though. I know this trailer park.
Okay.
And so, they've upgraded finishes. Your standard, they don't have any furniture in here. Standard linear home. So something quite similar to that other one.
New flooring, new paint, new fixtures.
Yeah, just, they've upgraded it. They do need to clean up their backyard. But it is in Lakeland Village, so it's right in next door to the upscale suburbs. And in my neck of the woods, it's roughly half of what you would pay in the Yukon.
In the Yukon, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting.
And then you have to factor in those outrageous utility rates up there. I don't know how you afford to live up there.
Could you imagine being at the end of your financial rope, like just hanging on, just covering your bills and basic food and no entertainment and no extras and no, big Christmas presents or anything, and then have to think about your heating bill increasing by, what was it, 30 to 40%?
Yeah.
Holy, that would
So
be
like
enough
getting
to
a
just
$1,000, $1,100 power bill, like
to keep your pipes from freezing.
just to
And
keep your
that's
pipes from freezing.
Yeah.
That's not it. That's not like sitting at a comfortable 23 degrees
Right?
in your house when it's like -40 outside. That's like 16 degrees. You're wearing socks, you're wearing a sweater, and you just don't want your pipes to freeze.
Yes, that's exactly what that is.
Let's see what we're at.
Oh,
The NDP have 5. Are you making a liar out of me?
okay.
Yukon might have it at 16. Yeah.
53 to 40%.
Now, right now, their Yukon party is leading or elected in 11, which means that they're sitting in majority right now.
Yeah. Territory. They're in the territory. Okay, guys.
We've got one more chat. Watching this is a bit like baking my Nova Scotia or NS brown bread tonight. Hope it all turns out right for everyone. Same. And I think it will.
Where was that from? Nova Scotia?
It was from
Did you just say, sorry?
Cornish Cove. Cornish Cove 93. Watching this is a bit like baking it says NS. So Nova Scotia, I guess.
Yeah.
Brown bread tonight. Hope it all turns out right for everyone.
You should drop that recipe for our Only Grand series.
Right. Only Grands, where I sit in my granny jammies, my Grammy jammies, and I'll give you gardening advice, baking advice. I'll tell you why your bread isn't rising or why your biscuits turned out hard and not flaky.
Yeah. You could watch
your
me
butter
mend
cold?
quilts.
Was it cold?
Yeah. Did you chill your butter? Did you? It's important.
It's important.
Yeah. I will mend quilts because I find that to be drastically fulfilling. Okay, it just is. And also folding laundry. I'm excellent at folding. Nobody is better in the world than folding laundry.
I hate folding laundry.
Do you?
Oh my goodness, I hate it.
I love it so much because my brain loves symmetry, and folding laundry is just making things into symmetrical pieces, and I love it. Like, I love folding laundry.
I wish I existed in some sort of perfect equilibrium where I only wore the clothes in the basket and then they went back, so I only needed 2 baskets and I never had to get any more clothes than that. I just wish everybody lived that way. I try to, I don't really succeed, but wouldn't that be great? And then there wouldn't be this other chore of folding it and putting it away.
And I hate the putting away. This is where I stall out at every, like, I will get it folded and put in the baskets, and it is folded precise, like military precision folding. And then and then I just have to look at it and hope that it grows legs and puts itself away, because it's not going to be me that's putting it. I don't like that job. I don't like that part.
Right?
Luckily, my kids are old enough to put their own laundry away, but it's still mine. Like, I just live out of baskets, Sheila, and my van, right? Like, when you're
Right.
constantly on the road,
Mhm.
you like you're just living out of your suitcases and your go bags. So
I am happy to update everybody on Whitehorse West, which is where Mike Pemberton, the Liberal leader,
yeah,
former premier, is running, and
he was getting smoked last time we looked.
he is still getting smoked. So he is at 11.4% in third, behind Catherine McCallum for the NDP and Laura Lang for the Yukon Party. It's wonderful.
Well, Mike. Ooh, 52 votes. Oof.
We've got no results in
That's-
for Copper Belt North. Is
That's
that
an
Curry Dixon's riding?
indictment.
I think Copper Belt North is Curry Dixon's riding, which is the Yukon Party leader. God, I've got way too many notes here.
I want to know. I want to know more about him. By the way,
Curry Dixon?
yeah.
He's quite an athlete, if I recall correctly. So he's running like a marathon runner?
Okay.
Outdoorsy.
An endurance athlete.
I think so.
Okay.
We've got some time to kill as we await some
Oh yeah,
more.
nothing here yet. Hey,
Yeah, nothing. Yeah,
that's all right.
Curry, young fella. What does it say?
This is him.
Tell me more about him.
Okay.
Anyways, he's a young guy, which is kind of exciting. I like the younger conservatives.
Yeah.
The boomer conservatives they've had their time. Does anybody want to hear that story that I was going to tell you guys about a
The
Wendigo?
Wendigo. Yeah.
My
I have a
hometown
star-
Wendigo?
I have a
This is
star
my hometown
beside
Wendigo.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Please.
So-
Like, what is a Wendigo? Start there.
So a Wendigo is it's like a hunger spirit, and it will turn a man into something that is insatiably hungry. And so the indigenous legend, although there's different indigenous legends, but this is how I understand it. And since this is my hometown Wendigo, I'll tell the story my way. Thank you very much.
Okay.
In times of cold or wanting,
Okay.
or scarcity, the whisper will start. In the wind, maybe it'll blow in, and it'll just, when you're hungry, and it'll tell you to eat, and it'll tell you to eat, and it'll tell you to eat. And pretty soon you'll give in to the hunger voice. And then it has you. And I say hunger spirit, but it's more like it's evil. Like, it's evil, right? And so this is from just a blog on the internet, but I could have found it multiple different ways. They actually did a piece in the Edmonton Journal about this story, because he was hung, put to the gallows in my hometown, because Fort Saskatchewan was an RCMP outpost and Fort Edmonton was the trading outpost. So they were sort of similar, but they had different functions on the North Saskatchewan River, but as the river flows, not all that far from each other. If you're driving, it's a little bit more. So the first legal hanging in Alberta, before we were even a province, so we were the Northwest Territories, took place in 1879. It's still remembered as one of the province's worst and strangest crimes. So this is the collision of all the things that I'm interested in: history, crime, and cryptids. So, anyways, the hanged man was a native Cree known as Swift Runner. He was tall and muscular, with as ugly and evil-looking a face as I have ever seen, in the words of an Anglo Fort Saskatchewan officer. Whatever his comeliness, Swift Runner was on good terms with the frontier authorities, who trusted him as a guide for the Northwest Mounted Police. That is, until the Cree's violent whiskey benders unbalanced him so much that police sent him back to his tribe, and then the tribe kicked him out too.
He fell into the sauce, and then his personality changed.
Yep, and that's how it starts, right? You make your first step towards evil, and then it's sort of, then it goes from there. He took to the wilderness to shift as he could with his family in the winter of 1878 to 79. A wife, a mother, a brother, and 6 children. Okay, this is him on his way to the gallows.
A wife, a mother, a brother,
and 6 children. And this is him.
Hannah.
This is Swift
9
Runner.
people? 9 people.
And they're in the wilderness now because he's been banished by the tribe. He's no longer acting as a guide for the Northwest Mounted Police out of Fort Saskatchewan. But only Swift Runner would return from that camp. So all of them go out into the wilderness. Only Swift Runner comes back.
What happened?
It's
going to be terrible.
Yeah, when the police were alerted to the suspicious absence of Swift Runner's party, the former guide himself escorted investigators to the scene. One child had died of natural causes and was buried there. The 8 other humans had been reduced to bones over the course of a winter. It's one.
Oh, was this like a cannibalistic thing?
8 people, you're eating good. You know what I mean? So 8 other humans had been reduced to bones, and they have the evidence photos. You can go find the Swift Runner evidence photos. And he led them there. 8 other humans had been reduced to bones, strewn around the camp like the set of a slasher film. They'd all been gobbled up by a Wendigo.
It was his own
family.
Wife and his own children.
Mother, brother, 6 children. One of the children died of natural causes and was given a proper burial. Subsequent to that, everybody else was eaten by Swift Runner.
Oh, my God.
He said the Wendigo did it, as in the Wendigo was in him, and then it did it. So, the Wendigo, it's a frightful supernatural half-beast of First Nations mythology, so ravenous it's said to devour its own lips. And you'll see depictions of it, with its teeth curled back like a mummified corpse's mouth, because it ate its own lips out of hunger. Anyways,
I don't like this.
So they say he suffered from, now, through the lens of today, Wendigo psychosis, which is a mental disorder particular to Northern Indigenous people. In the psychosis, diagnosed in the early 1900s, but hotly disputed in psychological literature, people are said to have experienced themselves possessed by the Wendigo and racked by violent dreams and a compulsion to cannibalism. It's importantly distinguished from famine cannibalism, though it was so frequently it happened during the winters, which was a time of scarcity. Swift Runner had access to other food when he did this. A lot of other food.
Diabolical.
Yes.
His own wife and his own children.
Yeah. And so he was he was put to death in Fort Saskatchewan. But that's not the only local Wendigo. We got a real problem.
You guys are just sprouting Wendigos, aren't you?
Fort Kent.
What is going on?
Another fort, Fort Kent. It's in the Lakeland Connect. If you Google Fort Kent Wendigo or Haunting of Fort Kent, it's in the Lakeland Connect, the local newspaper, just east of here. They got their own problem with Wendigos. We got a real problem with them. It's the legend of the Fort Kent Wendigo. Uh,
That's
now
what that's what it's supposed to look like. Like like this is what happens to you and then you start eating your people. This?
yes, but this one goes back 100 years. So, Thomas Burton was a young doctor who arrived in Fort Kent from England in 1921 when it was just like a little outpost. He came to Fort Kent with his wife to treat an outbreak of smallpox that had befallen the small community, allegedly on the backs of rats. Now, we know that that's not true. We don't have rats. It had to be something else.
Alberta's rat-free. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Claim to fame.
He hoped that now this is where they think that he was experiencing some psychosis. But again, if you look at this through a different lens, he had hoped that by leaving England, he would leave behind his horrible memories of World War One.
Oh.
Initially, the young doctor was successful in fighting the smallpox, but the townsfolk embraced him and his wife as miracle workers. But the disease's spread suddenly became uncontrollable. Burton became overwhelmed with the sick and the dying. It wasn't long before his wife took ill, and when she succumbed to the sickness, Burton locked himself inside the house with her dead body. In the following days, Burton went mad with grief and, according to legend, was possessed by the Wendigo. Under the evil spirit's influence, he ate his wife's flesh. Again, like I'm saying, this is Wendigo territory.
This is like Ed Gein territory, Sheila Gunn Reid. Like locking yourself in a house with a body. Mm-hmm.
And when he was done, Burton turned his attention to the residents of Fort Kent and allegedly went on a killing spree for the next 3 days with few spared. And it was said to be one of the grisliest murder sprees in Canadian history. At the end of the third day, it said Burton disappeared into the woods around Fort Kent and he was never seen or heard from again. When he and his wife had arrived, there were 150 in Fort Kent. 11 were all that remained, at least according to the local legend. Anyway, we've got a real problem. We've got to be on the lookout.
Okay, so listen, I'm not going to sleep in that graveyard. That's one graveyard that I'll just be...
We can sleep, by the way, in the old jail graveyard in Fort Saskatchewan, like the turn-of-the-century jail graveyard. It's a historic site, if you want to.
Say less. Say less. Like tomorrow, I would do that. Tomorrow, Sheila Gunn Reid. Actually, that would be in a good... You know what? I would not sleep. I would... You know, it would be real easy for me to get carried away on these stories and then not sleep for 3 days. Like,
this is
real.
Again, my kids are going to watch this tomorrow or the next day, and they're going to be like, Mom, honest to God, what is wrong with you? Your stupid, scary, weird facts about all the places that you're talking about. She's like, I just know Riley's going to be like, Mom, you're making our community seem like crazy people. You have to stop. I can hear her already.
It's, honey, just tell her, honey, these are historical stories that I'm just repeating for entertainment purposes. That is wild. I don't believe that Saskatchewan even has one Wendigo. So I think this was a social contagion that happened like in Saskatchewan, a Saskatchewan Wendigo.
We'll find one. If they're there, I'll find them.
The one Saskatchewan photo of a Saskatchewan Sasquatch was taken less than a kilometer from a house I used to live in Craven, Saskatchewan. So we do have things here. We do have some. You guys have
the Turtle Lake Monster at Turtleford. How do you not know about that? You have no idea what creature at Turtleford.
Turtleford, chime in right now. What is happening? Because I have never heard this before in my life.
It's the Turtle Lake Monster. It's between 3 and 9 meters long. You guys got to pin it down a little bit closer. Like that's a broad range. That's like 12 to 27 feet. It's got to be something. Let's just say 20. It's a large, scaly creature with a dog-like head. And it's a reptilian lake anyways, it's 3 to 9 meters long. It's scaly and smooth with a head resembling a dog, a seahorse, or a pig, but like a turtle shell. How do you not know this?
I have never heard this in my life before, ever. This is the first time I've ever heard of this Saskatchewan lake creature. I am going to go and jump in the lake and I will report back what I find.
We've got our own river monsters out here. Pink Eye is a river monster that lives near Rocky Mountain House, Alberta. I mean, there's lots of pink eye. Yeah. I mean, it feels worse, but anyways, there's when we go to like the Yukon and maybe would want, yeah, pink eye.
The Pine Barrens Institute tells
the
us.
North Saskatchewan river monster, pink
Okay,
eye.
I'm
Now
going to
they
tell you right
obviously
now,
have
that
a
looks like a
moose.
moose.
That's a moose.
That is, guys.
That's not it.
Okay.
But anyways, we've got a lot of cryptids up. It was it Wahila is the one that's in Nahanni National Park up there. Yeah, it's like a wolf with a bear body. Anyways, well, we should go on a cryptid tour. I'll take you to all the weird places where I know all the weird cryptid stories.
I would
Again,
really
my
love this.
children
I'd
are
love
dying
this.
right now. They're dying. Let's check. Should we check back in?
Okay.
Yeah, let's
please.
check back in.
Ooh, NDP has not increased their seat count, but increased their percent of the vote share right here, up over 40% for the first time tonight. Yukon Party, oh, there we go, under 40%. Yukon Party 51.6, the Liberals 8.6. They are absolutely getting smoked.
What a delight. Should we do one more cryptid while we wait on the results to roll
Yeah,
in, and
sure.
then we can
Yeah.
check to see
Yeah,
on
yeah.
everybody? There is a cryptid in the Yukon. It's the Yukon beaver eater. Keep your jokes to yourself, everybody. Keep them to yourself. Just keep them inside. Anyways, the Yukon beaver eater, and I'm not even going to try to say the First Nations name, is a relatively unknown cryptid from oral traditions of the Canadian First Nations people. It's described as bigger than even the biggest grizzly bear, and it got its name from its diet. You know, this looks like a Ice Age era creature. I think this is one of those things that got left behind, didn't die during the Ice Age.
Right. It somehow found a pocket, and it survived all that time.
Or at
Natives
least long enough
traditionally
to come in contact. Oh, his tongue. Stop. It caught beavers.
That whole thing is inappropriate. Okay, there's nothing good. No, Everett, it's so funny. The natives traditionally called this beast Saytochin, which literally translates to beaver eater. Okay, now you guys know we're not the only ones to know this.
Yeah, I'm not even, what the heck is the Yukon beaver eater? It caught beavers by flipping up their lodges and seizing the exposed beaver. It looks like a giant sloth. One of those like giant sloths from
prehistoric giant sloths, yeah.
From the Ice Age.
Yeah.
When shown a book of prehistoric animals, natives chose a giant ground sloth as the closest lookalike to the beaver eater. I can't even.
It is, listen, the beaver excuse me. On one hand, it says the beaver eater is amongst the rarest and most obscure of the cryptids. Oh, the women in the background right now. Oh,
anyways, so they have their own, and I believe it is, where is it? Is this near Whitehorse? Because I'll have to check it out myself. I'm so grateful that you're on this stream and it's not David Menzies.
I was just thinking, like, how do we talk to Yukon Strong about wanting to encounter this in the wild without sounding inappropriate?
Without ending up at the local dive bar? Yeah.
That was the funniest thing that happened all day. Oh, that was unexpected and excellent. I'm going
All
to change
right.
my lock screen to that photo, the inappropriate photo of the Yukon beaver eater.
You should see the scary Efron is like, this image is giving off creepy vibes in the empty studio, and it's the like Fort Kent Wendigo on the screen with its like scary eyes. Creeped Efron right out.
Oh, sorry, Efren. It must be so late there too in Toronto. What time? I mean, it's 10:46 in Saskatchewan. What time is it there, Sheila Gunn Reid?
9:46.
So it's got to be after. It's got to be after midnight in Toronto. No, no, it's 11:46 in Toronto
That's
right now.
right. Yeah.
For Christmas, Efren, I'm gonna get you an ND mattress for the office for sleepovers, so you can just hit the sheets and
I'm gonna
not
get
have
you a
to worry about the
Wendigo
pillow.
doll.
A little comfy nest and a Wendigo doll
Yes.
to cuddle at work. Yeah, when you
Um,
sleep at work, poor guy.
we've got some reaction from the CBC. This is clipped by Kian Bexty over at Juno. CBC says they can't get too excited quite yet after the NDP are projected to win their first seat of the Yukon election. So they're basically admitting that they're cheering for the NDP against the Conservatives there. You know, they are so frequently honest during these unscripted live streams that they do on election nights. Like us, but at least we don't spend the rest of the year lying about our political leanings.
Right.
Let's watch this clip.
Callie, do you want to break this down for us? Yeah, I mean, very early, so we can't get too excited just yet. But yes, it looks like Brent McDonald is taking the lead over Richard Nagano. Brent McDonald, longtime Dawsonite, he's been there 30 years, very involved in the community there, part of getting their recreation center off the ground. So, and I mean, yeah, 24 votes cast so far, and he's taken 23 of them. So, 23 of them. So, pretty strong lead early on, and that's one poll of 8 reporting so far.
Okay. Fair
Don't
enough.
get too excited. Don't
Fair
get too
enough.
excited.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Let's just check back at the live results page. Let's see how close we are to they hand counting these. Like this is like a small municipal election. I suppose they're spread out all over the place though.
It's a
right?
huge geographic region.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in terms of population versus geography,
Yeah.
the Yukon has the biggest spread in the nation.
Yeah, and I did read that voter turnout was like 40% or under, so quite low, which seems strange because it feels like they're pretty darn motivated for change. Maybe it's just conservatives that were motivated for change, and the liberal supporters.
Well, but if you consider that many people that live in Whitehorse are temporary and transient government employees, they don't care. They don't care. They're there to put their time in to flip their house and then to get gone on to a cushier job in Ottawa or in some other far off location. They don't care. So that could also, the apathy of not having to care because you're employed by the government and you're safe no matter what.
Yeah. Now, Copper Belt North. So Copper Belt North, I think that's Curry Dixon's riding. He's going to win that against the NDP. Then Takini is going to, so Kate White, the NDP leader, will keep her seat. There's one liberal riding that has just come in, potentially. And this is
6 out of 8 polls reported. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty
So
close.
2 out of 8 polls reporting in Mayo Catcham. That is the riding that DJ told us about, where
that had a terrible opioid epidemic, excuse me.
And they've re-elected, it looks like. They have 2 incumbents here. Maybe they're suffering from redistricting there because they did redraw the lines.
Yes,
so,
they did.
Jeremy Harper, he is the only Liberal incumbent. He was the speaker, so he probably didn't have to wear a lot of the government's failings because he's sort of, you know, supposed to be as neutral as you can be while being a member.
Isolated from some of the bad decisions. Yeah.
And it looks like he's going to win the seat. So, yeah, because they said, what was it? 15 of 21 seats were completely new boundaries. So, yeah. So anyway, we'll just keep watching. The popular vote.
Beaver eater. I'm sorry. I'm just fixated.
It's an amazing name for it. So the Yukon Party is now at 12 seats, NDP at 6 potentially, and the Libs are leading in the 1 there, and I think they're going to win that one. The popular vote, do we have that broken down by, I don't want it broken down by riding. It's kind of difficult to navigate. So the Yukon Party has gained Whitehorse West from the Liberals. They've gained Porter Creek South from the Liberals. They're holding Copper Belt North. We know that one. They're holding Copper Belt South. Anyways, we're just waiting on other results to come in. I wonder what CBC's thinking. Did they expect this? I think they expected the Yukon Party to win, but I'm not sure they would have expected this sort of flattening of the Liberals on the eve of federal budget.
I feel bad for the CBC analysts who have to try and explain this like it wasn't deserved by the Liberals. Like, what are they going to say? What are they going to say? They'll find some way to defend them. Yeah,
for sure. For sure. Efron, do we want to hit an ad break and then we'll come right back? I caught him sleeping at the switch there. Okay, we'll hit an ad break. We'll come right back. Are there any other cryptids you'd like me to tell the stories of? Because I know them all.
I would like to review the beaver eater again, just for the second time, because it was delightful the first time.
The Turtle Lake Monster. We can do that one. Okay, let's hit an ad break. We'll be right back.
Okay. You like the hat? Me too. Same strong message about making Canada great again, but in a really cool color, black and gold. There's other colors available, and it's an all-Canadian site. So if you want to signal your tribe or trigger a Liberal, go to mcgahats.ca.
Oh, hi, it's Ezra Levant here in Toronto with an important message because we need your help. Independent journalism in Canada is under attack. Government censors, big tech deplatformers, and the dying legacy media are all working together to maintain exclusive control on the information you receive. They don't want you to hear other voices like ours, and they really don't want you to be informed and to think for yourself. That's why the work we do here at Rebel News is so important. Our on-the-ground reporting, independent news shows, and special content you won't find anywhere else. It's all designed to give you trustworthy information and alternative viewpoints so you can decide for yourself. We don't get government money, and we are not owned by some big global conglomerate. We're funded by people just like you, so please support independent journalism and help us continue our work by subscribing and becoming a Rebel News Plus member today, right here on the page. Go to rebelnewsplus.com. Members get instant access to all of our shows, invitations to exclusive events, and access to our premium content like live event footage and documentaries you won't see anywhere else. Only Rebel News Plus members can join the conversation by participating in the comments section of our new website. That way you can have your say too. More than anything though, you'll be able to take pride in supporting real, honest journalism, and you'll help our talented team continue to do the work to push back on the establishment. We really can use your help. We need it, in fact. So thank you, and enjoy Rebel News Plus.
gun bans make great distractions.
Trudeau may be gone, but Carney has picked up his same
We
rhetoric.
will quickly, and I mean quickly, reinvigorate the buyback of
Hunters, collectors, competitors, and defenders of tradition are still being targeted, while criminals run wild under Liberal policy. But we are fighting back. Join us, Canada's National Firearms Association, in defense of freedom.
All right, we're back. We're still waiting on results to come in, but it looks like it's going the way that we are predicting, although I think the NDP might do slightly better than I gave them credit for. With
They're leading in
6.
5 ridings right now.
Yeah, they're leading in 5.
Okay.
With
and 1 confirmed.
elected in 1. Yeah, and right now the Yukon party is elected in 5, leading in 7 for a majority position of 12. It's 11 to be majority. They have 21 seats in their legislative house.
And they got 5 in the bag at this moment. 84 of 159. So, but, just over 50% of polls reporting.
Yep.
So if we extrapolate this, it looks like the Conservatives are going to have a good night in the Yukon.
Yep. I don't know. We can kill some time, and I can.
Are we gonna do more cryptid exploration?
We can. I'll tell you about a cryptid that's close to your home.
Okay.
The Turtle Lake monster, of course.
Never heard.
I can't believe you've never heard of it. And it's talked about so much that it's like they consider it when they're doing fish counts in the lake. So this is from the Wayback Machine, and it's from, I think, Saskatchewan Fish and Wildlife, or the local Fish and Wildlife. Gord Sedgwick, a fisheries biologist at the Ministry of the Environment, is at the annual general meeting of the Turtle Lake Watershed. Okay. And so I had to dig this up from the Wayback Machine. And so this is the fisheries biologist, and they're talking about the fish resource in Turtle Lake and talking about the studies that they've done, and they go through. They're talking about the fish that they're restocking, and they've been stocking Turtle Lake back to 1927. So they've monitored this lake for 100 years. So they're pretty aware of what's going on in the lake.
They would have to put a lot of new fish in there to feed that lake monster.
So if you go back down there, if you scroll to the bottom, after commercial fishery, they have a part in this report that's talked about, what their restocking efforts and what they're putting in the lake now versus what they put in the lake before. And then they have to address the monster in the room, and that is the lake monster. Much has been reported and written over the years about the Turtle Lake monster, although nothing has been reported in recent years. Over the years, people fishing in the open water have reported sightings of a big thing swimming near their boat. Could it have been a lake sturgeon? Lake sturgeon inhabit the Saskatchewan River system, and the outflow from Turtle Lake flows via the Turtle River directly into the North Saskatchewan River, and we know the North Saskatchewan has sturgeon. It is not inconceivable during some years of very high outflow that sturgeon could have found their way from the North Saskatchewan up the Turtle River and into Turtle Lake. Sturgeon have a very long lifespan, so the few that may have entered the lake could have stayed there for many decades, and of course getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The longer they live in the lake, the larger they grow. Sturgeon are bottom-feeding fish, which is the problem. They would not be often sighted near the surface. The presence of few lake sturgeon is the most plausible explanation for the numerous reported sightings of a monster swimming in the waters of Turtle Lake. Having said this, the sturgeon have never been caught in any test netting surveys, nor in any commercial fishing nets. So there's no conclusive evidence of their presence in the lake. However, there are similarities between Turtle Lake and Candle Lake in regards to connection with the Saskatchewan River system. In the case of Candle Lake, a few large lake sturgeon have actually been caught, which verifies they were able to find their way upstream and take up residence in the lake. But for Turtle Lake, we'll likely never know for sure.
Well,
We got to go looking.
Not unless we keep looking. Exactly. You're never going to find them if you're not looking.
I literally keep a cryptid book in my office here, and it's
Sheila
called
Gunn
Canadian Monsters and Mythical Creatures. And there's a devil monkey in New Brunswick, in case you're wondering.
Well, Susan Holt.
She's the devil monkey.
The devil monkey looks just like her.
There's the Crescent Lake monster. This would have been good for Newfoundland. Crescent Lake near Roberts Arm has its own yellow top. That's yellow top is like a Northern Ontario Sasquatch. He has his own name there because he's quite different.
He's like a blonde Sasquatch. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, where's the Shuswap? Oh, that's one. Shuswaps have multiple. There's like Shuswagi and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
those are the ones that I'm familiar with. Are the
BC ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Ogopogo.
We got our own. Yeah.
Well,
did I ever tell you at the time about how I scared my son about Ogopogo? Okay, so my son, he was a dinosaur kid. And again, I'm going to get a phone call from him tomorrow. He was a dinosaur kid. Everything was dinosaurs. He did summer camp in Drumheller, and they would go on dinosaur digs. Like that's what he did. He was just loved dinosaurs. And to this day, he has like, I forgot what it's called. What they think the Loch Ness monster might be.
Okay.
I can't, like that giant dinosaur, aquatic dinosaur. He has that tattoo on his leg because yes. So when he was little, he also became convinced that the Ogopogo might be this dinosaur leftover kind of thing.
Sure.
But, now looking back, of course, you'd need a sustainable population of them to live for that long. Anyways, whatever. This is what he thought. So, and he had done his research. He was like 11 years old. No, 9 maybe. 9, because I was pregnant with my other daughter, but my other one was like 2. So I sort of had her on my hip. And he had done his research. We were in BC visiting family, and he was like, they see all the sightings of the Ogopogo adjacent to Snake Island by Peachland.
Okay.
And he was like, we have to stop. This is my chance.
Excuse me. We have but one opportunity.
Yeah.
It's
like, you're just going to drive past the Snake Island turnoff. You're not going to go. so anyways, we're like, okay, go in the water. You can have your like little moment to try to find your sea creature. And he sort of had his back to the water, and he's 9. He's picking up rocks or whatever. And I like, my daughter was sort of playing in the dirt on the beach or whatever, and I just all of a sudden I start screaming. I would just start screaming, grab my daughter, and run for the truck. And my son is like,
what's happening?
He thought I saw Ogopogo, and he just was like screaming at the top of his lungs, and he ran to the truck, and the doors were locked, and he's like trying to get in. And finally I was laughing so hard I had to tell him I just made it all up.
Oh, that's so funny.
I just grabbed his sister, screamed, grabbed his sister, and ran. And he didn't know what was happening.
So
he thought I saw a sea creature. He still talks about it. How scared he was.
Remember that time, Mom? Remember that time?
When you made me think that there was a sea monster there. And
I thought, trick on me.
But also I thought maybe he would believe that I saw a sea creature, and it would be a memory for him. But I didn't realize that it would just be like a
traumatic childhood.
I wouldn't even say trauma. You remember that time you played that trick on me, and I actually thought there was a sea creature there?
Right. But it's like, it's memorable. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's memorable because you're little and something exciting happens.
Exactly.
Last summer we encountered a bear in a campground. We had an up close encounter with a bear in a Saskatchewan campground. And let me tell you, Sheila Gunn Reid, my children still talk about it on a weekly basis. It was so suddenly dramatic and traumatic for them that they've never forgotten it. And so any like those little moments of childhood that are punctuated with this is cute. It's
Right.
cute.
As you know, I talk to you a lot when I'm out on my local bear watch
Yes.
around the neighborhood.
She shows me evidence of bears.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, look, here's one. One was here.
Yep. Do
Sheila
you?
goes on bear patrols every day.
I do.
Yeah.
And I tell you what they're eating and everything.
Mhm.
Where is Rock Glen, Saskatchewan?
In the south, in the extreme south. Nope. Yeah, so Rock Glen, Saskatchewan. You know what? This is ringing such a bell because in childhood, when they would do the weather reports, they would always include Rock Glen. It's in Saskatchewan's southeast, southwest corner.
Okay.
What do they have in Rock Glen?
Zobe. I just don't know where Rock Glen is. So Zobe is your Sasquatch. His name is Zobe. Assiniboia. So
That's just south of me.
okay.
Yep.
So you got a Sasquatch, just so you know. So be careful. Rock Glen's the town of Rock Glen, the village of Rock Glen. Since the 1970s, sightings of a human-like figure similar to Bigfoot or Sasquatch have been reported living in the hills near town. They've dubbed the creature Zobe, and at one time there was a biannual newsletter called the Zobe Sasquatch. That's so clever. Yeah. Sasquatch. Like
Right?
like they spell it S-A-S-K. Sasquatch.
Sasquatch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Appropriately.
Yeah. While some believe there are cover-up efforts to the creature's existence, others do not believe in the folklore or claim to have never heard it. Wood Mountain Uplands.
That's just Wood Mountain is really, really close in the area. Like very, very close. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful country. It's a beautiful, rugged, gorgeous country.
Yeah, an hour and a half south of Moose Jaw. Anyways, that's there's a Sasquatch type creature there. Just FYI. Be on the lookout. Bolo. I got a bolo out on a Sasquatch.
Rock Glen, why didn't you tell us sooner?
Yeah. Okay. We have. I don't want to go too late for Efron. Let's wrap it up at 12:30 Efron's time, and we'll continue this conversation tomorrow.
Yeah,
we already know the Sask Party won. They won majority.
Not Sask Party.
Sask Party. Yukon Party.
Yukon Party, yes.
They won majority. We already know, like, it's late for me too. This time change has really messed me up. So we know the Yukon Party won. We know that they won majority. We can show their snippets of their acceptance or concession speeches tomorrow on the live stream, because Lise and I are on the live stream tomorrow, 11 Mountain, 12 Saskatchewan time.
Is that, yes?
12 how that works?
I hope so.
Good grief. Okay. 1 Eastern, just as long as we stick to Eastern hasn't changed. Okay. We've got a couple of chats here. We'll try to hang on until 12:30. Then we'll let Efron brave the horrific Toronto traffic to get to his home so he can come back and do it all again. Sasquatch Chronicles writes, $9.99. The legend of Man Bear Pig comes from Ontario and has been captured on video dumping out perfectly fine bottles of Crown Royal. Stop. It's pretty funny. We got some funny viewers.
What was it? Man
Bear Pig.
I'm gonna write that down.
Remember when I said he resembles a medieval pig that's been cursed by the local witch to walk the earth as a buffoonish man?
That's it. When we mentioned, remember? Yes.
Right.
Oh,
it's like
the Hawktawa girl, but for Doug Ford.
Yeah. He's like the pig that built his house out of straw.
Out of
Like,
matchsticks.
yeah, just some
Man, bear,
humanoid,
pig. That,
humanoid.
that was unexpected and
That's
amazing.
so
Thank you.
funny. Silverfeet gives us $5. Rebel News needs a live streaming studio guy in BC. Can you ladies get me an interview with Rebel News BC bureau chief? My salary demands are 0, non-negotiable.
Well,
I mean,
yes.
I suppose I could run the stream myself, but it's just a lot easier for Efron to call up the stuff as it happens, because it's hard, because I'm watching, like, when you
He-
see me like looking all over the place, I have my computer here where I'm looking at Slack and seeing messages and reading like websites, whatever. Then I have my monitor up here, my camera's right there, so I look past the camera to my monitor, but I'm always looking over here to make sure that everything's not falling apart, because there's a computer right here that controls my camera. So I'm never looking where I'm supposed to be. But all that is to say, I could probably do it myself. But it's nice to have somebody else to blame if things go bad.
I mean, to say that the work that they do in the background is just so important to, like, just to keep things on the rails and to keep us sounding.
We have a
good.
news ticker.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do that. I can't. I can just make sure that we're both talking at the same
time. Yeah.
But I can't do any of that stuff. That's there's no way.
That's beyond our technological capabilities. We need Efren. Okay, we need him. We love him. Yeah.
C700 Angus gives us $5. The one picture of the beaver eater with the tongue sticking out looked like an extended pig pecker. I didn't realize that my like spooky, scary stories to kill the time would go in that direction.
That was
the cryptid of the Yukon, and I'm just so sorry that that's what it was, but that's what it is.
I'm not sorry at all. I am delighted by this turn of events. I was not expecting. You guys, look at this. Look at it. It is. I mean, there's nothing not disturbing about that. That's a disturbing looking cryptid. And that this came up in conversation tonight. And then I laughed so hard I cried. I just was not expecting that from this. And neither was anybody. And it is delightful. Okay, nobody is complaining.
I knew that it would get a couple of like boom, but I didn't realize that the reaction that it would get. I just thought it would be like, ha ha ha, snicker, snicker. But I didn't. I really didn't realize where that would go.
I seriously can't wait to bomb into Yukon Strong's DMs and start asking him about this. Hey, why didn't you mention the Yukon beaver eater?
You're gonna get locked out of your X account real fast.
He'd be like, I'm not interested. Sent.
Right.
No, right. I didn't mean it that way. I meant it about the weird, like the sleep hag, but for the Yukon.
The sleep hag, the frozen sleep hag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like the Yukon New Democrats are at 7 seats now. 12, 7, 1. So that's 19. So I bet you those remaining that's not 19. That's 20.
20. So we're waiting on one.
We're just waiting on one. And I'm sure that will go to the Yukon party. Now, Efron tells me that we have the Mike Pemberton concession speech, and I want to see this.
Okay.
Talking about Doris. Yes. You're talking about your podium. Let's take a listen.
The MLA commonly known for Whitehorse West as Richard Mostyn. Good evening, everyone. I too would like you to join me in recognizing that we're gathering tonight on the traditional territory of the Kwanlin-Dun Council. Tonight, I stand before you and acknowledge the results of my riding of Whitehorse West.
You lost.
And I sincerely offer my congratulations to Laura Lang of the Yukon Party.
Yeah, Laura.
We've been here before, and you saw what happened. we came back with vengeance. We remember when Sandy Silver stood here as the lone Liberal voice in the Assembly. And we all know the remarkable comeback that he led this party to. There's no doubt in my mind, there's no doubt that the Liberal team will continue to work on this Liberal movement in the Yukon. We will return stronger and better.
Like a bad weed. Yeah.
My good friend Richard already called out all the names of our candidates, so I won't do that, but I will say how proud I am of the team that we put together.
That got smoked.
Each and every one of this team put their heart and their soul into this campaign. Each and every one of this team had a vision. And I applaud them. And I would be honored to stand with them in any endeavor that they choose to do in the next challenge in their lives. Folks, you ran with integrity. You ran with grace. You had the energy. More than anything, you have compassion. Please join me in thanking all the candidates.
With 5 people in the audience.
For those of you, a few of us, obviously, who weren't successful this time, please stay involved. Because your eyes, your vision, is what this territory needs. And it won't take too much longer before folks realize that. It won't. The Yukon Liberal family needs your voices. They need your ideas. And they most definitely need your drive. To our campaign team of volunteers, you're incredible. All the volunteers, and they're not all here yet. I think we still have folks at HQ that aren't here yet. Kim Stavert, our campaign manager. You know, standing ovation for this man right here, John Stryker. John, you are to me one of the kindest people, the hardest working MLA I've known. And I, from my heart, want to just say thank you for everything. You have been a mentor to me, and you have guided me through this entire process. And for that, I will be ever grateful to you. I'm also grateful to your favorite wife. Susan, thank you for loaning John to us. We appreciate that. To my wife, Phyllis, to my daughters, Star and Sky, to my son, Mackenzie, to my son, Jesse, thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being there, Phyllis, when I needed you. When things got heated and heavy, thanks for the hugs. You know, thank you for understanding that that I'm stronger than just one election. And thank you for pointing that out to me. Thank you. Without a team of dedicated volunteers, people that come together, this could never happen. You know, this could never happen. It's amazing to watch this whole process. It's like a machine, you know, that's well oiled and working together. And that's an incredible thing to watch, you know, and it all came together. And even though we were not totally successful, I'm still amazed by how hard everyone worked. And I think that's important as we move forward, that, you know, that team of volunteers, that special group of people that are always with us remains the same, and we grow and we build stronger than we ever were before. And I hope you all stay with us. But I appreciate you being here now, and I appreciate all the time that you've given to this Yukon Liberal Party.
Electric.
I want to
You brought this
acknowledge our
electricity to the
outgoing
campaign trail.
Liberal cabinet ministers. Nils, thank you. Also has been a wonderful mentor to me, and thank you very much. John, of course, Richard. I also, you know, I admire this man, and he's not here tonight, but he, you know, from ashes, he brought back this Liberal team. And please, he's not here, but I'm sure if we go loud enough, he can hear us back in the East Coast. Sandy Silver. I will also acknowledge Premier Ranj Pillay and thank him very much for his time and effort since 2022. And Ranj, wherever you are tonight, thank you. It was an honor for me to work beside these folks, you know, an incredible honor. I've always admired the work that they set to do and achieved, you know, and I've said it before, I was in this role, and I'll continue to say it. They did an incredible amount of work, and I, for one, applaud them for everything that they did to modernize legislation, to work on, building lots, to build more homes, to increase capacity for our healthcare system. Everything that they did, I admire, and I thank you.
You broke everything. You're so thankful.
Yeah.
The results tonight weren't what we hoped for. But I'm deeply proud of this campaign and this team. Our team is rooted in honesty, optimism, and a genuine desire to make life better for all Yukon and all Yukoners.
Oh my God, there's more. There's more.
We've seen nights like this before, but this party remains committed to the Yukon. This is a moment that we regroup.
Can you imagine getting this guy at your door?
We listen more, and we rebuild. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you to my friend Sue, who traveled from, Sue's a longtime friend of mine. We've been friends for 40 years. She's also from the East Coast, like myself, but she now lives in Vancouver. And I want to thank her for coming up and joining us for tonight.
Is there anybody there who was able to vote for you?
But from the bottom of my heart, thank you for your faith, your effort, and your belief in a much better future.
No.
Let's keep going, one step at a time, one community at a time. Thank you. Merci, Jonathan.
You know, the most...
Are you resigning?
Enjoy, talk to each other, have fun, the sky's not falling. We're gonna get through this.
That's it?
Okay, the best part of this whole thing was the dress behind him on the headless mannequin. Did you guys see it?
Yeah.
It was spectacular. I admired the dress the whole time, and I just wanted to...
Thank goodness you found something interesting in all of that. I was waiting for him to resign. Right? Like, you just led these people to absolutely being destroyed at the polls. You lost your own seat. It's not like Polyev where you lose your own seat, but still strong showing for the party across the country, especially in the West.
You got smoked, buddy. And
you lost your...
sound,
oh, God.
like, the whole thing sounded like he had just, tied the game. Oh, I'm so thankful.
I gotta tell you something.
Just the best. Yeah.
So we're watching like a not live version of that. It's a few minutes behind. I gotta and also, did you feel like he's an energy vampire? Like, I just feel tired after listening to him.
He sucked the energy out of the room. Yeah.
While he was talking, the Yukon party stole that seat back from him, and now they're at 0 seats. Like, and stole it handily. It wasn't like, oh, we just moved the needle a little bit.
So the Libs have none?
They have none, and he still didn't resign.
It's a beaver eater blowout.
It's a beaver eater blowout up there in the Yukon. Yeah, Mayo Tachum, which was the riding that DJ told us about, where they had a real problem with the opioid crisis. Jeremy Harper was the Speaker of the House, the only Liberal incumbent who was running. He lost his seat to Corey Belmore of the Yukon Party as punishment for making us listen to that boring speech.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They took the seat away. They just took it away. They just stole their lunch during that speech, and nobody deserved it more.
Yep.
So
the Yukon Party's at 13. The NDP are at 7. Efron, do we know if the NDP is coming soon? He said he's standing by for the NDP speech.
Okay.
So.
Oh, let's see if they do a land acknowledgement and we can all cringe together.
We can all just roll around in our seats.
Yeah. Okay. When that happens, hey, in life, whenever we all hear a land acknowledgement, we're just going to go limp. Okay, all of us. Ready? I'd like to acknowledge we're on the territory of just throw yourself back in your chair and act exasperated.
Right. Exasperated, like your gruntles have left your body. You have been disabused of your gruntles.
Gruntles, yes.
They're gone.
Behold my bucket of gruntles.
It is empty.
That it is empty, yes.
Yep. Over there, that's where my gruntles went.
just straight out the door.
They left.
Oh.
All right. Let's check back in. So we've got Yukon Party at elected in 6, leading in 7, for a total of 13 seats with roughly 52% of the vote.
How close was that to our polling? Let me just go back and check. They did a lot better than the NDP poll said that they would. Yeah, I'm pretty much right on the nose from the most recent polling. So there you go.
Who's that? Forum. Forum did a better job this time around than what they did for the Newfoundland election. The New Democrats are elected in 1, leading in 6 for a total of 7. I think that's probably going to stay that way. And then the Yukon Liberal Party, the only seat that they stood a hope in hell of winning, just went to the Yukon Party.
Yeah.
It's quite something.
Well,
that is absolutely quite something.
It is going to be, tomorrow morning will be a whole new day in the Yukon, and congratulations to the people of our extreme far northwest.
Yeah. Let's see if Danielle Smith has thanked anybody or congratulated anybody.
Oh, we're gonna go check our.
Let's
yeah,
have a
go
little looky see if Danielle Smith is. No,
I'll
nothing.
check on. I'll check on Premier Scott Moe, but I like to give him about 3 days to get.
You know what? You guys are doing it a
I'm like-
little bit, not a high pry, as they say in
No.
Saskatchewan.
No, no. He's talking about the German ambassador to Canada. That was the last tweet that Premier Scott Moe had. I like I said, if he gets it done by Friday, I'll be delighted. Typically, it's because he's out of the country on a trade mission trying to salvage the trade relationships that we have with our closest trading partners. But yeah, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it.
Nothing from Polyev yet either. So
also, it's a late. I mean, we're at 12:30 for Efron right now. It's a very late election, and you know what? We could always watch the best of the NDP's speech tomorrow during the live stream because it is so late.
It is so late. I think
yeah.
Efron, we're letting you go home. It's late. We'll watch. You can get us reacting to it tomorrow, and Curry Dixon's speech tomorrow.
And this was a fantastic, like by every measure, this was a fantastic live stream.
I ran out of things to talk about, but it's because there were only 45,000 people in all of the Yukon. And so I ran out of all my Yukon knowledge after DJ left.
So, and what did we all learn about tonight, Canada? The Yukon Beaver Eater. Never forget this night. It was so much fun. Probably the best election night coverage we've done. So
I told you the tale of my local Wendigo.
Yes,
my local one.
And what was that? What was the guy's name with the wife and brother and 6 children?
Swift Runner. He was the first person hung in Canada, legally hung. I think there were people likely hung before that, or in Alberta. Sorry. The first person hung in what would then become Alberta after eating 8 people.
God, I wonder why they don't bring him up on Truth and Reconciliation Day. I wonder. Mystery.
He turned himself in, too. That was the thing. When the RCMP or the Northwest Mounted Police were like, where's your whole family? Like, your 6 kids, wife, where's your family?
Because
he's like, here's their bones.
Part of that evil sort of evil mindset is wanting to show off your trophies. We haven't talked about the Ed Gein movie on Netflix. We will one day on the live stream, but
it's not accurate.
There are very many similarities between these two stories. Anyway, what do you mean it's not accurate?
It's not at all accurate. It's not at all.
Do we have to have a special Rebel News true crime live stream to talk about this?
Yeah, or at least we're gonna have to be in your van for a couple hours so I can tell you all the problems with the Ed Gein Netflix show. But I mean, it's fine. But the moral of the story is, don't be an overbearing mother.
Don't do it. You ruin your kids.
Yeah. Well, and we see this all the time in politics right now, don't we? You are a they, them. You're going to be a this, that. You don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, let's wrap the stream unless you guys have anything to say. Efron, do we have any chats that we haven't gotten to? Okay, that's all the chats. If you guys are watching, if you're still watching for some reason, if you're still here with us, thank you for it. Now you know more about me than you knew before. That's for sure. We will do our best to digest what we haven't digested yet on the stream tomorrow on Rebel Roundup. So if you want to see us reacting to the Yukon Party leader, who is the new premier of the Yukon, Curry Dixon, we'll do that tomorrow. Also, the NDP with their land acknowledgement tomorrow. We'll react to that too. Thanks, Lise, so much for jumping on the live stream with me today and taking us on a walk through the local real estate.
The Rebel News Real Estate Report.
Yeah. Thanks, Efron, for coming in and staying late. You've got a much worse commute than I do. I have like 16 stairs or something. And yours is terrible Toronto traffic. So we appreciate you staying late and helping us do these live streams. They're fun for Lisa and I, but I feel like they're a lot of work for Efron. So we appreciate you very much.
He for sure is doing the heavy lifting in all of this. So Efren,
Yes.
thanks so much, buddy. In solidarity, I'm not going to go to sleep tonight. I'm just going to stay up until the live stream tomorrow. And
Don't
then
do
we'll
that.
be on. No, it's fine. I have 6 children. You know how I operate on no sleep ever?
Right.
Just no sleep hardly ever. So Efren, thanks so much for hanging in there. And to all of our viewers, thanks so much for tuning in tonight, for being so entertaining in the chat. And
Yes.
we will see you back here tomorrow.
Yes, and I hope we see more of Yukon Strong on the network too. It's my
he was
to my
great.
great embarrassment that we don't have him on more frequently, and I think that's my fault. He's a delight and really insightful. And while he is a gun rights guy, he's an everything rights guy, which is how you should be.
He's delightful. He's delightful.
Thanks, as Lee said, to those of you who commented, pitched in a little bit to keep the lights on here at Rebel News. We couldn't do it without you, and I genuinely mean that. I know there are lots of places you could dump your money, but you give it to us because you care about the work that we're doing, and I just really appreciate you for making that choice. And for those of you who maybe are unable to make that choice, if you interact with our work, share it, engage with it, leave a comment, leave a chat, that's free. But it helps us get higher up on the algorithms, and then the platform will serve us up to more eyeballs. So it helps us.
And we have a goal of getting to 2 million subscribers, don't we, Sheila Gunn Reid?
Yeah, I want to be at 2 million subscribers before the new year, and I think that's completely doable.
So with the help of our generous viewers, it is absolutely doable, and we are gunning towards that goal. So thanks so much, guys, in advance for sharing and liking and commenting on this.
Yeah. Okay, let's wrap up the stream. We'll see you tomorrow at 11 Mountain, 12 Saskatchewan, 1 o'clock Eastern. I think I finally have it right. Thanks for sticking with us, you guys. It's been a long one. Which is crazy because, like I said, there's 45,000 people up there, but that's okay. We'll have the final breakdown tomorrow. And as Lisa and I always say, if you find us offensive, maybe don't find us at all.